Thank you very much. So for your information, this event is on Zoom. It's streaming also live on about 10 different platforms. One event in Tanakan Facebook, duk dunia kuma suna kallo yanzu. So let us just be guided that we are actually live and the whole world is actually watching. Your Excellency, thank you.
National chairman of the Labour Party is around, but somehow just not seated. Suleiman, elder statesman in the person of former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Engineer B.D. Lawal. Honorable candidates of the Labour Party, organizers of the defense of the event, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. I'm highly honored to grace this occasion. I'm equally highly honored to be given this opportunity. As mentioned, I am again giving apologies of His Excellency, the presidential candidate, for yet being unable to be here, and he will join us the theme is carefully chosen, very important, and it's a very good guide to all candidates. Good governance. First of all, I keep saying, what is democracy about? Democracy is about giving good governance. So however professional, however good however organized and resourced the parties, whatever kind of structure they claim to have, governance does not follow election. And then what is the purpose of good governance? Governance is as provided by the Constitution. The security and welfare of the people, of the nation, must be protected and enhanced. Any good governance that does not do these two things is again a failure and a waste of democratic time. To provide good governance, there are some basic qualities that leaders must have. And these are what the electorate should be looking at now. One, I would like to say that an incoming leader must somehow be a fulfilled individual. He must have something to show for what he is trying to, what he or she or they are trying to achieve in any aspect, in any discipline, in any career. He must be a fulfilled individual. Two, an incoming leader must have contentment. Three, an incoming leader must have discipline and focus. Four, an incoming leader must have a conscience. Let me start from number 4. When we see those huge crowds greeting us, welcoming us with all the excitement, I equally get excited. But the conscience deep inside me tells me to wake up. This is the number of people you have to make happy. This is the number of people you have to secure and beyond them. This is the number of people whose household income you must protect and enhance. Good leader must have that conscience. We're not looking at the votes, just your thumb. When I see the crowds cheering, I keep getting worried about what is around, what we can achieve. Democracy without good governance, I would like to say is a carcass. We have moved away from the argument to have democracy because it has been proven that democracy is here to stay. So we're now after extracting good governance out of democracy. I repeat, our primary focus now should shift from entrenching democracy to extracting good governance out of democracy. Who is democracy made for? Democracy is meant for those who can practice it. Governance is made for those who can demand it. Democratic dividends is meant for those who can actually extract it. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here just to say a little about the theme. There is no overestimating how important the theme is, no overestimating how important this kind of gathering is in this kind of situation that we are. Like I said, there is another event I have to attend on behalf of the party. I can take one of the questions and then proceed from here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, the incoming Vice President. I don't know how many of you believe that that is exactly why we're here. Your applause is not loud enough to resonate in the corners of Abuja, in the corners of Nigeria, that this is exactly why we're here. Now, the good thing is when you listen to the Labour Party presidential candidate speak, and you listen to the vice presidential candidate speak, and you listen to the chairman, the national chairman of the party speak, they always speak extempore, without a paper. But because their mind is set to what they want to achieve, it flows seamlessly. And so graciously, he has said, despite the other exigencies of the office and of course of the time that is waiting, he will take a few questions. And because we want to also assist that he leaves on good time or at a good time, we'll just entertain 4 questions. And we must make sure that the women are involved. We want to be gender sensitive in the whole of this. But let me please announce the arrival of the national chairman. Can we please put our hands together for him, please? We all know him, so he needs no introduction. And we also have one of the chieftains also seated here. Those were the persons who fought for democracy in Nigeria. They almost killed him because of his fight for democracy. I'd like us to please join me in welcoming our leader, our chieftain. Just because I want to be sure of the full name so that I don't get it wrong. He's a retired naval officer, very senior one at that. I'm just trying to make sure. I'd like us to please join me in welcoming Commodore Suleiman. Dan Suleiman, I beg your pardon. Please, can we hear that applause for him? It's because of the way I rushed in. Daddy, you don't have to stand up to be recognized, please. We all recognize him. Please applaud him one more time. We also have the former secretary to the government of the Federation, the man who insisted that everything around this country must be balanced. And I'm talking about Engineer Babachir Lawal. Please, let's put our hands together for him. We'd like to thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I'll take a few more names for recognition, but in the meantime, we want to entertain questions. Please, can you take the microphone to him? Quick, what we do is tell us your name and what state you're from. And please keep your questions very, very brief. Can we get a paper for His Excellency, please?
Thank you very much.
They can take notes.
The incoming Vice President, all protocols duly observed. My name is Joseph Ame. I'm a lawyer by profession, and I'm from Kogi State. My question has to do with the reach of our party. It is clear that Labour Party has, occupied a large space in Nigerian's political space. And my question has to do with an encounter I had. There was a day I was passing through a football viewing center, and I saw that everybody over there, instead of watching football, they were actually watching His Excellency Peter Obi's messages, very loud. And I saw another thing online. I saw where people gathered with projectors and were actually watching our messages from Peter Obi. Now, my question has to do with the reach of the party in terms of interpreting these messages, because the messages are messages that go to the heart of people. And once people listen, they are convinced, they appreciate what our candidate is coming in to do. So what is our reach so far in trying to interpret these messages to the people of the North and other tribes within Nigeria? I
said keep it brief, sir.
Thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much. That's not a question. I think it's more like, it's a question and a remark. Yes, the second hand there. No, the man with the white banriga, please.
Your Excellency, the incoming Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am Honorable Zakaria Ibrahim Boko from Gozo Local Government, a contestant at the House of Assembly, Borno State. The questions going around the nooks and crannies is that the Labour Party or Obi Dirty presidency have no grassroots touch, or they have no structure. Now, but as a grassroots mobilizer, who was once a legislator at the platform of Social Democratic Party, I know what it takes to mobilize at the grassroots. So I want, it's not a question anyway, but I want this gathering to ensure that grassroots touch actually is there. But I am convinced also that there's a grassroots mobilization. But I want this gathering to ensure that that aspect is actually or seriously taken into consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please take the mic from him and bring it to the fourth row. We have with us, her hands has been up, Professor Anna Mohammed Mazwi. Please give her a round of applause. Let's take her question.
Your Excellency, sir, and all the dignitaries that are here observing all protocols. My question is this: what do we do as a party and as a movement to make sure that we have branded vehicles in every state and also branded offices for the presidential campaign office, especially situated in every space, in every state in the whole Northeast, because we have the one presidential aspirant in Adamawa, and in Borno too, we have a vice president there. And we want to penetrate and make sure we have 60% of the votes. So what security measures do we also add to it, particularly if we put our billboards and banners to make sure that they are not destroyed, because this is one of our experiences. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very, very much, Prof. Please take the mic and bring it this way. I want us to be able to balance. We have taken 2 questions from this wing, 1 from here. We want 1 more. The other man's hand was up before. I like to be democratic. No, the man with the brown babanriga. His hand came up before yours. Please bear with me.
Your Excellency, sir, I am Reverend Joshua Sunday, Vice Chairman, North Vice Chairman, South Bauchi State, Labour Party. Your Excellency, sir, with Atiku Abubakar and Shetima from the Northeast in that region, what is the party doing to make sure to mobilize in the Northeast to the grassroots with the presence of those two from the Northeast? The truth of the matter is that we really need the presence of the Labour Party. Though the chairman there, they are doing their best, but we need the support, the serious support from the National Party in that region to make sure we get a percentage there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Chairman Bauchi, your hand has been up, so please let's get the microphone to him. And then I'm going to call for a recognition for all the chairmen from the various states of the Northeast that are here. Can we give them a round of applause collectively, please? Chairman Bauchi, keep it very brief.
Thank you very much. My name is Barrister Hussein Saraki, the state chairman of Labour Party, Bauchi State. I want to start by appreciating our leader, the Vice President, inshallah, for his effort, especially the love he has for the young people in Nigeria. We appreciate your visit, especially in the Northeast. It has further exacerbated or further explained the concern and commitment you have to Nigerians. My sister, the professor, have spoken. Particularly, I'm from Bauchi, but I'm concerned about Northeast. More particularly is the fact that they say experience is the best teacher. You all see what happened when the PDP visited Borno State. There was an attack. What are we putting in place to make sure that we join forces to ensure the security and lives of our obedience? Because we don't move with arms, we move with brain. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. And I think with that, please let's pay attention to the response. I have said, even if he's a computer, there's a possibility that he will forget, much as he's taking notes. We don't want to belabor him with too many questions at a time. If he opts or gives us the option of taking one more batch of questions, we'll do that. But in the meantime, let's get the vice presidential candidate to please respond. Your Excellency, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Regarding the reach of Labour Party, by now, there is no nook or cranny, as they say, nook and cranny. There is no nook or cranny of Nigeria that Labour Party has not been felt. In fact, sometimes your opponents think they are harming you or they are spoiling you. But it so happened we used their own weight against them. When I joined the ticket and coming from the north, I decided to make my own brief, cleaning and bringing Peter actually for what he is. They had, before my joining the ticket, gone to spread all sorts of falsehood against him. And in the process of saying the truth, love came into their hearts. And we don't just give them the news. We motivate them to go out, one person to become 10, 10 to become 100, 100 and to become 1,000, and so on. LP has reached everywhere in Nigeria. In fact, I used to say that the typical northerner on a normal day is one who will always, irrespective of the faith, of the ethnicity, the typical northerner would always respect agreements or understandings. This is what we're known for. The typical northerner is a very, very fair, peaceful person. And when you lie to the northerner and he comes to find the truth, you yourself, you become a void, V-O-I-D. So there was a void from when the truth appeared and it had to be filled. And we filled it with the truth about who and what Peter Obi is. This man used to sit in the front row every gathering with the creme de la creme. The same row with Dangote, Tim Ovia, Alumelu, and others. He owns a bank, for God's sake, a very successful bank, very successful businessman. Ask yourself, why are those people so comfortable and holding on to their comfort? And why is just Peter Obi, as comfortable as he is, coming out? That is why I told you that a leader, an incoming leader, must be a fulfilled person. He must have discipline and focus to resist temptation, because we have seen others who don't have that discipline to resist. Labour Party has reached everywhere. The question on structure, I wish you heard my interview yesterday at Channels. This was 8 to 8:45 p.m. In fact, I think I have by now changed the narrative. People should stop asking Labour Party if we have a structure. Instead, they should begin asking APC, PDP that do they really have a structure? What you think are structures of those two parties is a conflagration of individuals assembled to collect the money that has been amassed in excess of trillions. There isn't enough number of days in their lives to finish spending that money. Somebody has to collect it. So those politicians claiming to be their structure are simply there because they have the money. The moment that money is not being spent, as in the case of PDP, they don't have patience for 1 week. If for 1 week they don't spend that money, they'll start leaving the party. So they do not have structure. Real structure is genuine people like your good selves, like those who did the Million Man marches. These are what we call structure. Branded vehicles, offices. We will continue what we've been doing, and in fact, it's only going to increase from now to February. We give contributions, others give contributions, and we use it judiciously. That's the only way. We'll continue doing what we're doing. That in the Northeast, what are we doing? Atiku and Shetima been there. If they like, they can bring Ashiwaju back to the Northeast. They can bring Okowa back to the Northeast. It does not change the fact that 2023 election is going to be different. It's going to be about competence, character, capacity. It will not change. Consider that those two gentlemen are in the Northeast. It doesn't change the fact that Nigeria is more insecure than before. It doesn't change the fact that this government has perfected the arts of corruption like never before, and our economy is worse than they met it. Then help me ask, whenever they speak of structure, if those parties had any structure for 16 years, why didn't PDP in 16 years fix the power problem of Nigeria? If APC had anything as structure, why did they not fix the security of Nigeria in 8 years if they had structure? What is structure meant for? For you to bring yourself back to power? No. Structure is meant for you to provide good governance, not just to win elections. This is the kind of awareness and education Labour Party is building itself on. When His Excellency Governor Peter Obi, our incoming president, says, wake up, this is what he means. They keep telling you about structure. Now wake up and ask, you have a structure, am I supposed to be impressed? when you haven't improved my security? You have a structure. Am I supposed to be excited when you have destroyed my economy? No. They do not have a structure. We have structure in our minds. We have structure in our characters. Because that structure tells you when Peter Obi speaks, he means business. It tells you when I speak, I'm going to do it. That structure is that we have a form in our backbone. We have a shape, we have a form. We are not just anything goes. That is what we call structure. About security. Yes, there was attacks on PDP in Borno State. We're not PDP, we're Labour Party. The same way they attack others, I know they can attack us.
Yes, that's one.
But we have not done those things that PDP has done. We practice our campaigns, our rallies honorably, distinctly, and differently. So before anybody thinks of attacking us, let them think twice. But little wonder, a government that has not been able to secure the nation, how can they secure campaign rallies? A country where the president has been served notice that he's going to be abducted. A president whose convoy was attacked in his own hometown. A government in whose the president's home state is worse than Darfur and Baghdad put together during ISIL. What can you not expect? We're coming to make a difference, and they should think twice before trying to attack us. Defacing our posters and our banners and our billboards, you can't stop criminals. These are criminals. By the way, Nigerians are becoming more and more aware. I don't know if you realize. We have turned the narrative. I have been saying it. Go out on the streets now, all over Abuja. You will see expensive posters and banners. That is where your oil money is. From City Gate to the airport, that is where the internal revenue of some 6 states is going. Nigerians are no longer impressed by those paraphernalia. Let them go and put a 10-meter by 10-meter billboard along Abuja-Kaduna Expressway and remind travelers the money that we refuse to spend in protecting you and fixing this road, we're using it to tell you to put us again on this billboard. Nigerians are becoming more sophisticated. With or without posters, with or without banners and billboards, Labour Party is in the lead. By God's grace, this election is as good as won. We in the North should realize that there has never been a government without us. Let us again, as Peter Obi said, let us wake up to the reality. This is where the world is headed. This is where Nigeria is headed, the Labour way. The election is as good as won. You better live where you are. Come and join this bandwagon. Come and join this train. Come and join this elephant walking. They've been throwing pebbles and cutting at us. They are wasting their time. Call us names, insults. They are wasting their time. They cannot stop an idea whose time is due. I thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Just before you leave, sir, I'd like to crave on your indulgence, Your Excellency. Reasons are that we've been able to accommodate those of our friends from the Northeast that understand English, and we've not tried to get 1 or 2 of them to speak in the local dialect for the understanding of those of them who do not. Yes, I understand that very well. So if there's any question, one only from a Hausa-speaking listener from the Northeast.
My friend, let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
Even those who you think can't speak English, They do speak English. I'm telling you, Almajiris speak English.
Yes.
If they don't reply you, they understand what you're saying.
To Angama.
That is how clever.
Angama. So with that, we've come to, please let him take his seat for briefly. Thank you. Please give him a resounding applause. Thank you so much. I've already recognized the national chairman of the party, Barrister Julius Abure. We've also recognized Air Commodore Dan Suleiman, retired. We've also recognized Engineer Babachir David Lawal, the father of a day at this occasion. We've also want to recognize Dr. Bitrus Pogbu, President, Nigerian Middle Belt Forum, as our keynote speaker at this occasion. Can we please give him a resounding applause? Thank you for coming. Dr. Mrs. Habiba Adamu is the chairman CEO, Bibas Foundation Abuja, and she's the mother of a day. Please a big round of applause for her. I would recognize the convener. The reason why he has not gone out to see off the vice presidential candidate is not far-fetched. It is because he's also expectant, just as we all are, that the presidential candidate will join you in no distance time. He has made the promise, and you know he will keep it, no matter the odds. And so the convener, can we please ask all the chairmen from the various states of Northeast, chairman, LP, Labour Party chairman, please come and occupy the second and third rows. Second and third rows on both sides of the hall, please. Some of you can sit to this side, some can sit there. And then the ward chairman and secretaries or chairpersons, as the case may be, move and join them. And then, of course, you can move forward. Let the latecomers sit at the back. Please, let's welcome back our father of the day, Engineer Babachir David Lawal. Please, a round of applause. Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, we welcome you back, sir. Please take your seats, take your seats. When we are done, we'll pay or exchange pleasantries with the national chairman. But in the meantime, please take your seats. Second and third row. Second and third row. Chairman, please take your seats. Ward chairman can also move forward, sit. But please, those of you at the back, move forward. Let's occupy the other seats that are empty on the middle row. And then when the latecomers come, they will sit at the back. Kudao gaba kadang. Ayugaba, come forward. Let's do this with little or no noise at all so that we can hit the ground running. Our keynote speaker is here. I was actually going to ask and insist that the vice presidential candidate sits down and listen to the address of the convener of this event. I don't know if you know the convener very well. How many of you from the Northeast know Isaac Balami very well? How many of you know him? Okay, just very few of you. Please, I'd like him to stand here. Please give him a round of applause, please. I hope you can see him from both sides of the hall. The one thing you do not know about this young man is what I want to tell you. Even whilst our father of the day was secretary to the government of the Federation, sir, this young man you see stand before you is a bulldozer. He is not just an ordinary Nigerian citizen. He's a bulldozer from the Northeast, and he's proud to say that he's from the Northeast. Because of his commitment and passion to seeing that Labour Party succeeds and that Peter Gregory Obi becomes the next president, he has left his business, closed shop. He has a hangar in Lagos, the biggest in West Africa, where he services aircrafts and carries out C&D checks that people go abroad, South Africa and United States, to do. Owners of aircrafts, He has that type of big hangar in Lagos. He has closely donated his aircraft to Labour Party to be able to ensure that they move around. And every time that aircraft needs any form of service, Isaac Bellamy is on ground to ensure that it is serviced with professional hands that he brought in from Italy and from the United States and Germany, working for him in Lagos. They are still there. That is a commitment this young man has shown. And you can see this is just the beginning. He's been doing so much in the past, but he has galvanized all Labour Party members, youths, and chairmen from the Northeast, so that you also agree that he's not the story, the narrative, and the pictures being told, just as a vice presidential candidate told you, might not be necessarily true. That Northeast don't have Labour Party presence, it's fallacy. Look at all of them. Mr. Chairman, can you just please just stand up, sir, for a second or two? Barrister Aburi, please just stand up. Please take a look at these people and see for yourself. And more are coming. Oh, thank God. Please give him a round of applause. So I want a situation where you value what this man is doing. A tree, they say, cannot make a forest. But when one tree is planted and it begins to germinate, as the roots are spreading, more trees will be offshooting from other ends. And that is what he has been able to do with his his passion and commitment to the Labour Party. Please, let's give him another big round of applause. Father of Edesa, at some point in time, he was meant to take over a hangar in Lagos, in Abuja. I will stop at that, but he has said he's okay. But somehow, because of politics, having spent running close to $80,000 just to be able to prepare the ground, was waiting for commissioning, and they said it is not going to be given to him. He folded up. That money lost. He went down the drain. He's telling me he's okay. I will stop at that. So please, let's give him a bigger round of applause. Thank you so much, Isaac Bellamy. It is at this point in time that I then consider it really very expedient as we move on with the program of this event, that I'd like to, first of all, invite the convener, Engineer Isaac Bellamy, who also has been the president of air traffic workers in the whole of West Africa for a very long time, and has come into politics today. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium for his welcome address. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Tabletop. Turn on the tabletop for him.
Your Excellencies, for the sake of time, Chairman of the party, our father of the day and our mother of the day, our elders here seated, I would love to stand on all existing protocol, considering those who will be going back to Bauchi and Gombe today. Let's just be considerate. Thank you very much. This is not all about Isaac Bellamy, because we have a lot of people. There's a committee that put this together. I couldn't have been able to do this on my own. But let me also thank the chairmen and the ward chairman that within 24 hours notice, yesterday risked their lives, left Borno, Adamawa, Yobe, Taraba, Bauchi, Gombe. Some arrived by 2, 3 a.m. this morning. Thank you very much. Please, let's clap for them. As you can see, the soft copy of the IV said strictly on invitation, and that the soft copy will not guarantee access to this event. The reason is simple. When I was briefing the chairman about this event, we told him we want to bring real stakeholders from the Northeast, people that at the end of this event, if there's a communique, if there's any information to be passed across to the Northeastern people, they can go back comfortably and implement it. Mr. Chairman and our father of the day, this whole movement started like a joke. Initially, a former governor and chairman of a party said the Obedient Movement and Labour Party people are only 4 in a room tweeting on their phone and on their laptops. But 2-3 weeks later, they saw millions of people on the street, people that were not induced by money, people that were not paid to do what they were doing. They believed in their country, and they came out on the street. They bought water, they bought donut, they made it happen. And they spoke about a new Nigeria. And today we are here because these young people across all support groups have done everything possible to promote Labour Party and to promote the Obi Datti candidacy. Ladies and gentlemen here seated, we're not here to joke. They said Northeast is for some people, it's not possible. The people here seated were not paid to be here. These are the structure. We have ward leaders here, we have local government leaders here, and we have over 50,000 people watching right now across 10 platforms. It's being streamed live. We're here to discuss the future of this country. Today, it's a shame. Just 2 months ago, I lost my only biological sister. I couldn't go to Maiduguri to bury her because of insecurity. One day I was called in my village in Shafa, southern Borno, our local government to be precise, that my family members, some have been killed, some have run to Bola on the mountains to hide because of Boko Haram. The issue of Peter Obi and Datti is not about comfort. It's not about money. It's about the soul of this country. It's about the future of this country. Today we have a country whereby the son of a poor man have no voice. As a matter of fact, some of us as young people, even when we come up with new ideas, our initiative, our passion, our drive offends some people. We don't want that kind of Nigeria. We want a Nigeria that the son of nobody can become somebody. We want a Nigeria that anybody can become somebody. And that's why we are here today. Today in Borno State that I actually come from, we have people like Captain Ibrahim Mishelia. These are people that have built the first privately owned flying school in the entire Africa. The person who is the captain, who in his early 20s, he became a captain, became MD of an airline. He's left what he's doing to run for governorship in Borno State. People are tired. People are frustrated. People can't live a free life anymore. In the last 10 years, we living in the Northeast cannot travel home for Salah holiday, for fasting with our loved ones during Azumi, or to go for New Year freely. Even when you have to travel home, you have to leave one of your eyes open. That's not the Nigeria we deserve. We deserve more than that. I was just speaking to somebody. There's a place called Bola in southern Borno. There's no road to that place, but every election, they have a way of sending ballot boxes to those places. You can go to Goza. There's no road. People are suffering. Go to Adamawa. People are suffering. We just sank a borehole in Bola. On behalf of His Excellency Peter Obi, our support group, we did that. And also to honor His Excellency Peter Obi and also our governorship candidate, Captain Ibrahim Mishelia Kadapur. Only 4.8 million naira, including clearing of the road. In a rocky area, we went as far as 190 meters. 4.8 million naira. No chairman, no governor, no senator could do this for us in the last how many decades? Our people are suffering. This has to stop. We want to actually have a voice. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to discuss the issue of Obi Datti and our candidates across different platforms, governorship, House of Reps, and so on and so forth. We're here today, we have our father of the day, former SGF. You all know the risk he has taken. You know what it means to fight an incumbent government. We thank you, sir. We have the Middle Belt president here seated. These are people that have sacrificed their all, and they have made up their mind to fight for this great country. All we can do is we're going to rally around our elders here seated. We'll give them all the support. And if anybody gives you money to betray Labour Party, when next will I see you? Because they'll give you this money every 4 years. Your children are not in school. This government shut down our schools for months and nothing could be done about it. Is that what you want? Some of our family members and our loved ones are in the IDP camps. Is that what you want? If you meet people today in the Air Force, in the armed forces, they will tell you that this issue of insecurity can be tackled in a couple of weeks. Nigerian army, Nigerian military and armed forces is one of the strongest in Africa. We know what we've done in Liberia and other parts of the world, and we can't look after our own self simply because of interest. This has to stop. The only way that can happen is we will not take their money. We will not listen to them. We will vote in Obi and Datti, and this country will be redeemed. I will stop here because there will be session, there will be town hall meeting. I could also, ask some questions. I can also answer some questions. But please, ladies and gentlemen, let us listen carefully to our elders. Let us listen carefully to our leaders. And the chairman of the party is here. I can assure you that as you go back to your local government, to your ward, you have the support, In the next couple of weeks, we'll start real mobilization. And thank you very much, Babachir David Lawal, engineer, for the love and the support and the encouragement to this great movement. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, can we give him a bigger round of applause? Thank you so much. Thank you. I'd like to quickly recognize the presence of the governor of Borno State to be, by the special grace of God, Captain Ibrahim Mishelia, chairman, founder, Westlink Airlines, gubernatorial candidate for Borno Labour Party. Please, let's give him a round of applause, please. We also have with us, I have already introduced her, Professor Anna Mohammed Malgui. We'd like to appreciate you again. Dauda Ilya is from Chibok local government area, a very close friend from Borno. Please, let's give him a round of applause as well. And we also have with us Tochukwu Ezoke, the Chief Executive Officer, Njone Media Group and co-convener for Peter Obi and Labour Dirty presidential campaign. Please give him a round of applause as well. We keep the recognitions at bay, having recognized quite a good number of you that are seated. As he said, it's a town hall meeting, but even in town hall meetings, there are remarks. Before we throw the floor, don't forget, I also recognized our father, the man who was known worldwide as the chieftain of Nadeko, those who fought for the democracy. Air Commodore Dan Suleiman retired. Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So moving on, we'll take a few remarks, and after which questions will be asked. And then, of course, there's a guest speaker who would speak. I'm looking at the chairman. If he gives the nod, we will rather take the guest speaker for just 10 minutes first, and then the other remarks can follow. Or should it be the other way around? Because I know he's going to provoke our thoughts with whatever he's going to say to us this morning. So in the light of that, I'd like that we please welcome the guest speaker at this occasion, a man who also leads a complete geopolitical zone as the president, Nigerian Middle East Forum. Please, let's welcome the keynote speaker, Middle East Forum. That's what is written here. Huh? It's an error. It's Middle Belt Forum. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcoming Dr. Bitrus Ogu as he takes the mic for just 10 minutes, sir. Thank you very much. If you can be lower, if you can be less than that, the better for us. Please, let's give him another round of applause, please.
Our great leaders, we're still expecting our presidential candidate, or rather call him President 2023, to arrive. But you see, the theme given, everybody can talk about good governance. We know what is good and what is bad. But how did we come here? How did we get here? I think that's very important. This country became a nation after the British colonial government handed over power October 1st, 1961. With due apology to my leaders. My chairman, I remain loyal, sir. Your Excellency, I remain loyal. Now they handed over power to a democratically elected government in 1960, October precisely 1. I was a young guy that time. I remember my father was the leader of Action Group in my area. And what transpired was very interesting. Some of the political campaigns that time cannot even be matched today. Because I remember Awo used to do some magic, come with an aircraft, it will fly around, and you will see AG written in the cloud. Action Group. After that, remember we had regions, 3 regions. Northern region, Western region, and Eastern region. By 62, 63, we had another additional region, the Midwest region. That wasn't to stay because the regions were the federating units. And experimenting the British system of government, which was parliamentary. The military came in 1960, and everything changed. All power of the regions were taken to the center by Iran. And the birth of what we call exclusive list started. Power was centralized at the top. A counter coup dislodged those people, and Gawan came in, still part of the year, and then changed the structure by creating 12 states. So the federating units are no longer the regions, but the states became the federating units. And the parliamentary system gave way to what we are practicing today. And though we call ourselves a federation, what was on ground was far from it, because many of the aspects of a federating structure was never adhered to. The parliamentary system created a better federating structure than what we have or what we had. After Gowon regime took off, civil war came in, and we fought a bloody civil war till 1970 when this thing stopped. Nigeria had to be reintegrated. Gowon did one thing after that. He said, no victor, no vanquish. Nigeria reintegrated. He introduced the NYSC for integration so that our youth can move freely. Someone from Lagos can be posted to Sokoto. Someone from Sokoto could be posted to Akwa Ibom, and all over the country, we started mingling. There was even an encouragement and incitement so that if you married as a couple, you are going to enjoy some benefit. Whether it did happen or not, let history decide. They told us one wasn't doing a good job. After this thing, another coup took place. Murtala and his team came in. We saw what happened, and something, at least good, we can talk about that government, because it was during that short period of Murtala that the liberation of the southern part of Africa took place. South Africa, areas of Mozambique, current Zimbabwe, and all those, they got their independence, and there was transformation, but it was short-lived. We got another coup, because the soldiers were agitated. Everybody will find an excuse. And anytime that martial music plays, we know something is going to happen. Somebody will say, these people were corrupt, they were bad, they were not doing something, there was no good governance. And another regime came. So after that, Murtala's regime, General Obasanjo's team came in, promised on all sorts of things. At least there are some things we can say they did good. The infrastructural decay were a bit mended to some extent. We had the grids and all these lines of power running around the country, and so many things were done. I was in the university then. Remember Operation Feed the Nation and all that? Those were the things they offered Nigeria. By 1979, they had to also give way. At least they brought democratic rule back to Nigeria. Shagari came in, did one term. There was the old flamboyance of democratic rule continued in Nigeria. After the first regime, the first 4-year tenure, we had everything had to be NPN. I think that was the thing of that day. Everybody had to comply. It became more like a one-party system. It didn't last long. They were overthrown, and Buhari came. First thing we started saying, but everybody was a bad guy. Even our governor, who, to me, if I'm to judge, was the best we ever had. it was whisked away and locked up. So everybody, all jails were filled with politicians. Everybody was bad. Only Buhari and his team were good. Not long after, just about a year, his colleagues overthrew him. Babangida and his team came in. Then we had structural adjustment. You can see every regime had what they call their good governance. Structural adjustment, everything was being adjusted. In the end, Nigeria Airways was sold. And so many things happened. And that process, after a while, people got also fed up. And of course, he had to try or attempt a democratic process. Created those two, SDP and NRC. The two slagged it out. Abiola won. And remember, Abiola, a Muslim, with a Muslim vice president. Nobody in this country complained. We elected them at that time. It's because the environment was such that nobody cared which religion you belong to. All Nigerians wanted was good governance. But before they could be sworn in, it was terminated, leading to what our leader here represents, NADECO. People said, no, we subscribe to this team, and we believe this team would give Nigeria good governance. You have terminated it. It's unacceptable. Of course, Babangida had to give way. Shonikan came in briefly, and of course, didn't last. Abdul Salam had to take over and usher in the democratic process of 1999. And something spectacular happened. Nigerian political class, including the military, said, look, gentlemen, we have to resolve this NADECO issue. In resolving the NADECO issue, not only did they zone the presidency to the south, it was micro-zone to the southwest, the place where Abiola hails. So we had both the two parties, PDP and PP, fielding southwest candidates. Obasanjo versus and Obasanjo won. Then PDP did a good thing. They said, look, gentlemen, we've come out of this situation. We should introduce something in our constitution that would guarantee what Abacha at least tried or attempted. Because Abacha brought to us something very important, which though not in the constitution, we are adhering to it strictly. That's why we are gathered here as Northeast, because it was during Abacha's regime which they looked at the situation and said, look, the only way we can address these imbalances is to ensure that we have power rotating across the country. So they created the 6th geopolitical zone. And our zone is one of the 6, the Northeast geopolitical zone. And the intention was that the power at the center could revolve from one zone to the other so that each zone will not feel marginalized. Because we are still birthing a nation. We have so many nation states. Anytime there is a problem, somebody leans either to his tribe or to his religion. We wanted a nation coming out of Nigeria. Up till now, as we are talking, we have not realized a nation in this country. We just have nation states in a political space called Nigeria. Now, having introduced rotation in PDP, PDP continued governing. They did what they could do within the period. Obasanjo was able to negotiate our debt, and we became debt-free. So many infrastructure development started. People called it good governance. But of course, agitations continued. And after Obasanjo, Yaradua came, did some good things too. Because within that short period, before the man passed on, He was able to resolve the problems of the South, the agitations of the South people, and those people who produce the crude oil that gives us our revenue. And things moved on, but it didn't stay long. And of course, what happened then? President Jonathan came through the doctrine of necessity. 2011, we all voted him in. But when it came towards 2015, something happened. A group of governors and the first vice president of this process came out and said, no, it is the turn of the North. And we cannot allow you to continue. Many people are adducing so many other arguments, but the fact remains that they said it is the turn of the North. Some of them even came and said he signed an agreement that after the one term he was going to leave it for the North, etc. These people bolted out under the leadership of the former vice president, and they went as new PDP, teamed up with ACN and other parties, formed APC. They wrestled power from the PDP, and we have APC government in place. Okay. By the time it was 4 years, all of us started crying. Bad governance, all sorts of things, blah, blah, blah. Anybody else is better. So we, at that time too, started thinking, that is the social cultural group and other Nigerians. What do we do in this circumstance? Some said, anybody is better than Buhari. Others said, no, 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 let's get somebody first who has the capacity to remove him. The party of choice then was the PDP, and only northern candidates went and contested the primaries in Port Harcourt. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar won the primaries and went into election with Buhari, President Buhari. He lost. Whichever way Nigerians call it, when you don't win, you don't win. After that, he left this country. Of course, governance continued, whether good or bad, it is for you to judge. And we are where we are now. Those in the social cultural group started thinking, what do we do to add value to this democratic process? Equity, fairness, and justice. In that consideration, we felt the presidency asked us parish to come. We mobilized southern governors to start meeting, which they did. They had 2 meetings, and those meetings held at Asaba, at the government house of the current vice presidential candidate of PDP, Okowa. 2 things came out of the resolution. And those 2 important things are, 1, that the presidency in 2023 had to be in the South. And 2, that being governor who would midwife the process, none of them should accept to be a running mate to a northern candidate. It's funny today that the person who read that communique is the running mate of a northern candidate. Now, the APC, we also thought would do a good job. Yes. They said, look, gentlemen, we will also adopt zoning. The presidency has to go to the South. South, many aspirants came up. Northern candidates were not there. At the dying minutes, I don't want to talk of what happened, but one thing we know is both primaries, PDP, APC, were determined by who has the deepest checks of money to give. And we thought, look, this should go to the South. It's not for us in the Middle Belt to determine to the South where it should be. Let the South determine where it should be. Afenifere came out and said, gentlemen, we agreed to abide by 3 words: equity, fairness, justice. Based on that, Obasanjo was our own. He served 8 years. Today, Osunbajo, as vice president, is our own. He is serving 8 years. It is only proper for the presidency to go to the Southeast, because South-South had had nearly 6 years of governance through. Thank you very much. So we agreed that it should go to Southeastern at scale. Ohanese, they told us, and the Southeastern leader, we cannot win the primaries in either PDP or APC because the money bags are there to take it. And the good guys we have will not want to pay money for votes. What do? We advise, let the one you want, the best, leave PDP for another platform, and let's try it on that. That's why Peter Obi left PDP and went to Labour. Peter Obi didn't just leave PDP and go to Labour, he was told to go. So those people who are saying, hey, the man is not stable, it's a lie. He is stable. He was advised to leave and go. So, but as to which party he selected, that was his choice. Okay? So that's where we are. But what is our theme? Good governance. We have to market this principle. Will he give us good governance? We've talked about what the military regimes, one after the other, including Shagari, have done within the periods they were in government. That these people have a track record of good governance. They have integrity. They have what it takes. Even in Nigeria, physically, you know, we know what we suffered from when Buhari came into office. After some months, he comes back. After a few months, no, we don't want weaklings. These guys are young people. They're not all people. Obi is, I think, 61 or thereabout. That is in his early 50s. They are both young. They can do the job. Look at what they have done in their lives. They have done wonderful, which we can call good governance. And good governance is both the responsibility of the governed, that is we, and the people providing the government. So we believe these people will provide good governance when they come into office. And based on their record, we can confidently say we are giving Nigeria what we feel would bring the rebirth that would provide the constitutional requirement, which is welfare and security of people. So let's work hard. Well, we appreciate people who have sacrificed for this job, like my brother here. I didn't know that I thought he was my elder brother. When he told me, hey, then I smiled. I didn't talk because you are upset me. So they have sacrificed so that these good governors come in, and I'm proud of him. Not only because of that, but because he said he is going to pitch camp with his people. Because his people feel this is the way forward, and he preferred to go with his people than against it. So let's tell this man. In Nigeria, where
Thank you very much. I call for a round of applause for him, please. Time is of the essence, and most of our leaders, we must take into cognizance the exigencies of the times and the fact that they have other engagements. But very quickly, I recognize the presence of Air Vice Marshal Andy Ska. Andy Saka, retired. Please, can we put our hands together for him? Where are you seated, sir? AVM Saka, please come forward, sir. AVM, sir. I've been asked to relocate you to the front row so you can sit next to Air Commodore Dan Suleiman, retired. You're not in uniform, but you can still pay compliments. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So please, let's also recognize the presence of Mr. David Palumi. Please, I hope I got that right. Mr. David, are you here? Let's give him a round of applause as well. And then we have the zonal coordinator, P2B Presidential Campaign Council, Labour Party, I beg your pardon, Northeast. I recognize your presence, Alhaji Al-Hassan Mohammed Fau, Baradeng Tangale. We'd like to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming, sir. Thank you. All right. Quickly, after listening to him, I know that there will be questions. We'll take a few. It's a town hall meeting. But Mr. Chairman will speak last. So in the light of that, we'll take a few other remarks. First, because of the fact that he has to leave us at some point, the father of the day will address the gathering at this point. May I please invite the former secretary to the government of the Federation and the father of the day at this occasion, Engineer Babachir David Lawal, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, for his remarks. You're welcome, sir.
My uncle, Air Commodore Dan Suleiman, a man who has spent generations of years in the struggle, the party chairman of Labour Party, other distinguished people here present. It's very dangerous to give me the microphone live, because I wish this meeting had not been live streamed, because we are politicians wanting Peter Obi to win the election, and we should be able to tell ourselves truths that we don't want the competition to hear. And I will tell you the truth, because who told me to speak? I'm in APC. I'm a member of the board of trustees of APC, but I'm doing the Peter Obi dirty movement. And APC has not sacked me yet. I don't know what they are waiting for. I wish they had. I'm amused about Labour Party because there are people full of grammar. Turanchi, Dogon Turanchi, Labour Party. We want to win this election, and we must win this election. You know, there are times in the life of a society when you can see God has decreed change. It is not man, it's God that has decreed change. For a number of years, we have been grumbling. Nigeria needs change. And then the same people retain the system and it doesn't change, and on and on and on. I'm excited to be here because you said Northeast. Let me tell you something very funny you probably didn't notice. When Buhari first came into power in 2015, it was a Northeastern state, Northeastern region government. It was our government. So when you look at what is happening to the Northeast today, you wonder what happened. I'll tell you why. The Senate president was from the Northeast, Yobe. The secretary to the government of the Federation was from Northeast, Adamawa. The national security advisor to the president was from Northeast, Borno. The chief of army staff was from Northeast, Borno. The chief of staff to the president was from Northeast, Borno. The chief of air staff was from Northeast, Bauchi. Apart from other big positions in the government, minister of the FCT, big ministries like that, and so on and so forth. So what happened?
what happened that we are where we are looking like all of us are just recovering from HIV. Miserable, lean. It's all about your role in the government. If you eventually find yourself there, what do you do to contribute to good governance that you can today be proud of? Last time I was in Adamawa, I went to my village. I think about 1 year ago. I said, I'm not going to my village anymore because the roads are terrible. I remember in our time, we insisted, Numan Cham, Numan Jalingo, Yola, through Fufore, there's another village there, Fufore, Yola, Mubi, Mararaba Mubi, to Bama. All these were awarded. But as we speak, after I left, the only money the contractors have got so far are the mobilization. So the jobs are abandoned. So I like to tell us that it's not just enough for us as notice to contribute to a government coming into power. We must be sure we can hold them accountable to what they say they will do for us. One other thing I'd like to alert us to, it's a good thing to have a very good combination of president and vice president with good programs on paper. If they don't win the election, it's just, for lack of words, it's bullshit. When I was resisting joining politics, one of my friends, Timi Presilva, I'll call his name, he told me, say, Ogabidi, you can design the best road from Abuja to Lagos. But for as long as you don't have the political power to build that road, it remains a road on paper. We might have the best candidates. They talk good English. But if we do not win this election, it's nonsense. And I told some other people yesterday, if we lose this election, I think we will all migrate to Cameroon. Because shame, disgrace, by our failure to lose this, our failure to win this election. So it is not about whether we have the option to win this election or not. Peter Obi must win this election. So what do we do to win this election? You like to humor yourself by saying that there's no...
He is full of statistics and so on. But he also has the analysis, always comparing Nigeria to other nations who are of equal, who are in equal state, but who have progressed. It's true, at independence, we have countries like Indonesia, Taiwan, and so on, Korea, and so on. They were at their own level, but where are they today? They are far advanced. Why is that so? So we have somebody who, at heart, wants to lead Nigeria to greater heights and bring us to equality to those nations who have made strides in the governance of their nations. That's why we are here. And that's why we have no choice but to pick the best man for the best job next year. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Can we give him another round of applause, please? Let me then invite the mother of the day to quickly address us. Let us just please put our hands together for the mother of the day. I'm also going to get compelled to time you because I know you have loads and loads of things to say in your mind. The mic on the table would be nice. Just that one line there. No, the one line there. Yes. Please, let's applaud the mother of the day one more time, please.
The chairman of this occasion, my daddies, and permit me to stand on existing protocol. Thank you for this opportunity. We all know the reason why we're here. The reason why we're here is to rescue and liberate the soul of Nigeria from decay. And the only way we can do that is to vote for the right candidate, which is Obi Dati, by the grace of God, 2023. We are tired of them deceiving us, giving us money to vote for them. Anybody that will give you money to vote for him or her, you should know that that person is not capable. If he or she is capable, they will not give you money to vote for them. This time around, it is going to be different. Don't accept money from anybody. Go and exercise your right. Your PVC is your right. Go to the polling booth, the polling unit, and vote for the right candidate, an accountable candidate, a candidate that have a good past, a good record, a candidate that can change this country from terrorism. We're tired of burying our husbands, our children, mourning them, crying. We're tired of them giving bandits and terrorists money to pursue us from our places of birth. We are tired of them burning our houses, shooting our loved ones, making life miserable. We are tired of our children dropping out of school because it is not all of us that can afford to pay money in private schools. We need a leader that can upgrade the standard of public schools, and all our children can go there and have a good quality education. By the grace of God, come 2023, go and exercise your rights. We have so many widows under this regime because they are not doing the right thing. The insecurity has caused so many of us pain. I, as a person, has lost my grandmother in Hong when they invaded our country, our local government. They came, they shot at that old woman. She was 104 years and she died. And they didn't even allow us to take her dead body. They burnt down the house and she got burnt inside. We couldn't bury that old woman because of terrorism. Please, I beg you, exercise your right. Do the right thing. Let's rescue Nigeria. Let's rescue this country from shame and reproach. Thank you.
It's a woman who is vexed. She's vexed, and that's why she has sounded that way. Please give her another resounding applause. It is at this point in time that we'll then quickly take the remarks of the national chairman of the Labour Party. I'd like you to please join me in welcoming the national chairman, Barrister Abure, to please address you very quickly. And Chairman, sir, please just take a few minutes, not too much of a time. Give him a round of applause, please. You have the mic on the table, sir.
In Zapatio, Nigeria go better. When Labour Party don't dey rule.
One more time.
Labour Party in our own. Labour Party in our party.
Nigeria go better. When Labour Party come, they rule. Three fantastic and vibrated bosses to the most celebrated doctor and chairman of the Labour Party.
Bossa! Bossa! Bossa!
You are welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I crave your indulgence this morning to stand on existing protocol I want to appreciate very profusely the convener of today's event, Comrade Malami, who has made a lot of sacrifices, who is still making sacrifice, and who has put the event of today together. I want to appreciate him. I pray for him that God will richly reward him. Presidential candidates will be here this morning. The challenges that the country is bedeviled with. Was cancelled, rescheduled. He should be on his way. Few more. We did a study, and that study revealed that where the Labour Party is going to have its challenges, is going to be in the Northeast and Northwest. I'm particularly happy today that we have been able to change that narrative. I say so because of the caliber of men and the caliber of women that we have been able to attract to the party, particularly from the Northeast. I therefore want to appreciate all of you for helping the party and helping Nigeria to change that narrative. I no longer have doubt in my mind that we are going to pull a lot of votes from the Northeast, given the caliber of people I have seen here today, and many more that will join the party in the very few weeks and few months from now. The topic of today's event is very germane. Good governance as a gateway to security of the people and our land. I want to say ab initio very clearly that without good leaders, you cannot have good governance. It is good governance that gives rise. It is good leaders that gives rise to good governance. And the reasons we have never in the history of Nigeria had good governance, have better life, have security, have welfare for the people is because we have never had the privilege of having good leaders. Democracy gives us that option of the opportunity every 4 years to exercise the power to change bad leadership and have good governance. Today, another opportunity is staring on our faces. Today, there is another opportunity that democracy has given us. How we exercise that power, how we exercise that choice that democracy has given to the people, has given to us, will be determined whether we have good governance or not. With the 2023 general election, we determine whether we have good governance or
I come from a border town, spent some of my life in Borno and also in Adamawa. And I happen to be in one of the support groups, that is the ACCL, and I happen to be the national woman leader. Now, even though I reside in Abuja, I have had a lot of contacts with people in the Northeast, more especially Borno and Adamawa, and specifically Southern Borno and Northern Adamawa. Now we have had people talk, and especially our brother, the former SGF. We really have to be very careful and maybe take note of it. People there in the village, especially our youth, there is the poverty. I have listened to a lot of slogans, incentive of food and water and materials like the t-shirts, the hats. When they see it, they become very proud, just like the other parties are doing. Thank you very much.
Let's take the mic from her. Any other country?
Anchor to solicit for deposits. You don't send a treasurer there because another bank has sent an MD. The head of that interest rate to pay to that deposit and what he gets on the side for his own sweat. This is the way I want the Labour Party to understand this politics from the strategic point of view, rather than this sloganeering that I think would take us nowhere, where the competition is tough, the competition is deep, and the competition understands the landscape a lot better than our people. Our vice president spoke here, and I like his conviction, I like his passion, but that would not deliver. We have not put the tools on the ground to harvest these votes. And I'm speaking directly to the National Organizing Secretary, Mr. Ojukwu, the party chairman, Barrister Abure. I want you gentlemen to sit in the caucus of your party and listen to what Babachir Lal said to us this morning, and then synthesize it with what the Vice President has spoken. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please bring the mic here. I think we could have two other mics, or I mean one more, so that this one will belong to this wing and that belongs to the other wing. But in the meantime, Prof has a word for our people. Please give her the mic. We'll come back to you, sir. I've taken cognizance of all of you here, but we must also take a trip to
Fully observed, and I stand on the existing protocol. I'm Professor Anna Mohammed Malgui. I am the advisory president. I deliberately sure we deliver the Northeast and the way we are following. I am an state in other places is the rally of 2019. They are taking his picture and putting it even on the social media and saying that Peter Obi is PDP. If you don't know, is going on and we are seated. We don't have a presidential campaign office whereby the people like Nicodemus will come in and give in their support. If we don't do that, it will not. But today, by the grace of God, sir, in other able to penetrate, and I got it and make it big and brand that office. The state, and it will be making noise as Babachir said, if not, we will not win election. Voters' education has started going on because Dr. Efedi was in other states, but it is not enough. And we must get talking with passion. I know what I'm saying. No. I want us to get the votes.
No.
Don't get finished.
Yes.
I'm rounding up. I'm rounding up.
That's what I mean.
And I have to say this, I'm rounding up the votes to the grassroots to move from commercialization of votes to the actual. There must be an interface, and therefore to disabuse the mind, we have to stand in the gap and give them small logistics that they need, because most of us in Labour Party are workers, are government workers. And it's the government workers that are angry, and we are the one marginalized. Our children have been turned into thugs. We have not economically empowered the time, and we are out to take back our, not only our country, but our land. And you can hear my voice. I've been campaigning even in the village, but I have mobilized.
That is what is important. They will take notes from these strategies that you're bringing up. They'll go back to the campaign council and work with it. That is what is important. So please bear with me when I say we will calls, go straight to the point. Please, if anyone can reach the convener, the national chairman wants to interact with him or interface with him very quickly. Your hand was up, your hand is up, your hand is up. I will take yours. But let me take this man with the bowler hat first, then I'll come to you. Please, 2 minutes, no protocols. Your name and state and go straight to the point.
All right, my name is James Benjamin. I'm standing in for the chairperson, Taraba State Labour Party, the Dr. Mrs. Esther Johnson Gulmi. it is evident that the whole thing is becoming closer, and things are really slow. There are so many things to look into. If you will lend me your ears. Looking at it from the logo point of view, if you look at it, Zenith Labour Party and Labour Party have almost the same logo. And for some people in the villages, they might not really understand the thin line between the two parties. See that there is Zenith Labour Party and there is Labour Party, and both have people. This one have 3 people, this one have 5 people. That can sway our votes to these people. What is the voter education on that line? It will amaze you to know that most of the local governments in the Northeast don't even have a party office in the local government level. The state's local government offices are not even befitting. Right now in Taraba, DIG Kama gave us a 2-story befitting Labour Party secretariat. I don't think even PDP in the state and APC does not have that structure. But it will amaze you to know that up till now, please, you can clap. That was a kind donation. It will amaze you to know that up till now, we have not been able to move into the office because there is no fund to even furnish the office or enter. So he's just looking at us and we're looking at it. And if you look at it, somebody talked about cars for mobilization. Some of our villages in the Northeast are very far from the state capital. It's time for action. It's time to deploy. It's not time for motivation. It's time for mobilization. I rest my case.
Thank you very much. Please bring the mic. Bring the mic, because I want us to balance this. We take 1 or 2 from here. We take from that end as well. There's a man with the red cap, Peter T. Red cap, red face cap. Please just give him the mic. Please introduce yourself, your state, and keep it as brief as this man has just done from Taraba.
All due protocol are duly observed. I am Honorable Joseph N. Maigari. I happen to be a zonal coordinator of all support group in Northeast. My mother here said it, and other people, other colleagues have said it, and our elders and the former SF say it. What I want to say here is the support group in Northeast have already gone far, mobilized to the grassroots. All the polling unit, they have all the representatives. As I am talking, I have it all from all the polling units in the Northeast. I can give it, I have the evidence. But the problem is that they need recognition. From national, there's nothing, they have not recognized them in any of our activities in the Labour Party, either Labour Party or a presidential campaign council or either campaign organization office. And those people are working without seeing any national around them. And thank God, some people call me that there's going to be a voters engagement mobilization, which is going to take place very soon. Please, our honorable chairman, national, Northeast need your recognition, need you to talk to them. And you can say you are representing as you send it, intervention committee that that is going on now. They need you to recognize them in everything that they are doing. Northeast support group have left behind. I don't know for other zone. They have left behind, and we are not recognizing any of our activities that is happening, what is happening in the national and in every area. So please, we need your attention to attend to them and let be carried along. And our mommy said it, let it be logistic and mobilization for sweet movement.
Thank you. You see, the thing is this. In the end, he has spoken very well, but he kept emphasis. Yes, please, let's try to be mindful of time. Okay, please give the microphone to the man at the back, and then we'll come over here, please. Please, 2 minutes, sir. Just skip protocol. Just go straight to your name and your state.
Charles Videyambute from Adamawa State.
I interrupted
PCC.
you a bit, so they didn't hear the name. Please mention it again. Sorry, sir.
Reverend Videm Charles Bute from Adamawa State PCC Council. I'm also representing the coordinator. Now, we have issues, most especially in the village. There is a syndrome of rigging that is coming out now. Other parties are taking agricultural products and asking people to give them their PVC numbers. Let Labour Party know that another rigging is coming. If I have your PVC number, I can go direct to the data and vote you, even if you don't vote. Secondly, we should also be careful that we have listed name of presidential campaign team and not even inaugurating them. What is the limes? We have only 61 days to elections and we're still lacking. What are we doing to make sure that we go to the grassroots? There are places in Adamawa State, even in the state headquarters, Binikilan, you cannot talk about Labour Party. They don't know. Professor is here. We're working hard, we're pushing hard, but the national should also push hard for us to succeed. God bless us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We have the leader of the person.
Kuma ina ɗaya daga cikin Labour Party. Ni ne kuma leader na Adamawa State. Abin da yake zan yi tambaya akai tukuna sannan yi magana akai shine shugabanai na ganku kuma ni ban ga wheelchairs da yawa a nan ba. Ni ko da shike ban zo da wheelchair ba, ni ne wheelchair da kaina a nan. To ban sani ba ko other state ba ku so mu na kasassu mu zabi Obi?
National chairman.
Wannan shine tambaya.
Bari in faɗa in fassara musu da Turanci. Tunda baka so ka yi Turanci ba, an ce kana jin Turanci. Mr. National Chairman, this is the leader of those persons with disability in Labour Party and leading those with disability in Adamawa State. He said that he came in here believing that he will see quite a good number of people with disability or even wheelchairs, but that he does not know if this is what is happening in other zones where they do not care for those of them that have disabilities or what is going on. And I said I should translate that in English so you'll be able to understand and then perhaps respond at a time when you have to respond. Tambayan da kai na fasara da Turanci, kuma an juma kaɗan idan lokaci yayi da zai mayar muna da amsa, zai amsa maka.
Bari in dauki wannan lokaci kaɗan yi magana kaɗan. Yanwa abin da nake so mu gane a nan shine ana iya hafi mutane yan biyu. Wanda ya biyo baya me ake kiran shi? Gambo. To abin da nake so in tabbatar ma dukkan mutane da suka zanna a nan. Mu ne gambo. Gambo kuma ya fi yan biyu menene? Iko. Ya fi yan biyu. Tafi. Ina so in tabbatar muku cewa Labour Party ita ce gambo kuma ita za ta yi nasara a Najeriya. Biye da wannan shine ina so ku sani cewa Obi ba kiran jama'a bane. Ina so in tabbatar muku duka. Obi ba kiran jama'a bane. Kiran Allah ne domin ya zo ya ceci Najeriya. Yanwa shine ina so mu yi la'akari a kai. A ƙarshe shine idan muka kuma a littafi mai tsarki a lokacin da Musa zai fitar da mutane na Isra'ila bai iya yin komai ba, ya hau kan dutse, da ya hau kan dutse ya mika hadayensa haka. In ya gaji hadayen yana sauka sai a daga. In hadayen yana sauka sai a daga. Domin ya yi me? Domin ya yi nasara. Don wa ina so in tabbatar muku idan mun gaji ba za mu yi nasara ba. Amma idan muka fita da gaske muka yi magana, mun fita da kwarkwatanmu da aikinmu da kudinmu, to za mu yi nasara. Allah ya taimake mu.
Amin na gode. Please pick the mic and bring the mic. 1 second. Ba ta hiya za ka yi ba dai ko? ka zauna bayansa. Okay. Akwai tambayoyin da aka yi da yawa, da maganganu da ɗan strategy da aka bayar da yawa. Shi wato national chairman na Labour Party zai maimaita. At this point, he wants to respond to some of the things that have been said so that we don't load them up before he responds. Yes, zai answer zai answer, and that after that, we can then take a few more interventions, please. Mr. Chairman.
Labour Party, backward never. Well, I've taken notes of some of the suggestions and some of the concerns that have been raised. We will we'll deal with a lot of those concerns, but I need to make one small clarification here that we all know that Labour Party is not as big and rich as other political parties like APC and PDP. We all have noted that while PDP and APC have access to stolen funds, stolen resources, Labour Party do not. And I want to say that part of the challenges that we have has to do with issues of funding. But I'm hoping and we believe that very soon we'll be able to deal with some of these issues that has to do with funds. The greatest challenge that we have has to do with funding. But we are very sure that in a very short while, we'll be able to surmount some of the issues of funding that we have. And then we'll be able to deal with some of the issues that we need to deal with. I've also taken note of the issues raised, particularly about about the dates of some of our rallies in the Northeast. That is better to come either in December or in January. That February will be too late. We've taken note of all of those. It is a challenge really about the logo of the party. And that's why when I spoke earlier, I said that it is not over, not until it is over. I equally alluded to the fact here that PDP are saying that Peter Obi is in PDP and they are carrying the logo about. I admit that here even before some other people have alluded to the fact. But this brings us to the point that there is indeed a lot of work that we need to do. Labour Party was indeed a small party before Peter Obi joined the party. I mean, we have always admitted that. And so now that we are all in the party, the responsibility is on all of us to go and work hard. And so in as much as we are all now in the party, all hands must be on deck to see how we can work hard to deliver the party next year. I believe very strongly that one of the major challenges that we have in the country is that we allow money bags to hijack political parties. And by the time you allow money back to hijack political parties, they drive the process and dictate who becomes governor, who becomes president, who goes to the House of Rep, and who goes to the House of Senate. And that's why over the past few years, we've not had democracy that is driven by the people. We've always had a situation where very few people who sit in their sitting room or sit in their bedrooms control what happens in political parties. But today, this is the first time that we are having a people-driven political party, people-driven and funded political party that is looking at working for the people and actually driving the, that will drive the process for growth and development for the people. Because it is truly and really where you have
a people-driven party that you can truly and really have true representation of the people. What I'm saying here in effect is that we all need to make the sacrifices of working to this party in order to entrench the party, entrench the candidates of the party, and therefore have better governments. And at the end of the day, we'll have governments that will work for the people. Somebody spoke about support group. All the support groups that made applications to us, I think we have been able to issue letters of recognition, and we are working with all the support groups that have met the requirements for us to work with. And I think we have issued that recognition. But I know that perhaps what he's talking about may also bring us to the issue of Naira and Kobo. What we've not been able to do with the support group is to give subvention to those support groups. Perhaps that's what he's talking about. And it all brings us to the issue of funding. Like I have said severally in several forums, we genuinely, frankly, have the issues of funding of some of these activities. And it all has to do with Naira and Kobo. But at the level of the party, we have intensified efforts to see how we can raise more money, get more funding, get more people to be involved in this. And as we begin to get funds, we'll begin to release some of these funds to support groups. I have publicly acknowledged the roles that support groups have played in this movement. I publicly said that the bane of our movement, the support that we have enjoyed so far, taking this Obidati campaign to this level, I have always ascribed it to the activities of our support groups. And we appreciate you and will continue to appreciate you and to assure you that as soon as we get resources, we will not waste time in allocating some of those resources to support groups. Somebody talked about the similarity of Zenith Labour Party logo and the Labour Party logo. It's a major challenge that we have selling and publicizing the logo of the party. And it brings us to the same point that we all need to work hard in educating people on the logo of the party. There's no gainsaying the fact that we need to educate people more on this. On the issue of those with disability, yes, we are working with people with special needs. We are working with those with disability. I think that this occasion today is not organized by Labour Party. It's organized by those who put them together. And I'm sure they invited you here. And I expect that you would have extended the invitation to other people with disability to be able to attend. But your observation is noted, we've taken notes. Every other occasion we are going to organize, especially the ones organized by Labour Party, we no doubt bring in persons with disability to be part of the program. I think I have dealt with all the questions, but to assure you that PO will soon be here, will soon join us, and then you have the privilege of hearing from him. Thank you.
All right. Just before I come to you, sir, the presidential candidate is almost here, and would like to appreciate the fact that he has to fly in despite the delays. He's almost making his, I'm talking about the incoming president. So please just put your hands together in anticipation. Mr. Okodi of the PCC would like to just add one or two things to what the national chairman has said. And after that, we'll take a few more questions.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
ladies and gentlemen, let me stand on the existing protocols. I listened carefully to the comments from all the people who spoke today. And I have to say that I am particularly touched from the comments from Lady Professor, who was so passionate that I just told myself that it will be an injustice to Nigeria if we do not give a proper response to the concerns she raised. I haven't heard any proper response yet. And I think I would like to just briefly say that I would like to meet with her at the end of this occasion and establish contact. One of the things I do with my group in the Presidential Campaign Council is that we try to make sure that everything that needs to be done to ensure that Peter Obi wins the next presidential election must be done. We cannot afford to leave anything undone. God will not be kind to Nigerians if we miss this golden opportunity. For so long, in every election cycle, what we always have in Nigeria is a situation where we are presented with evils, one from PDP and another from APC. And Nigerians are always expected to choose the lesser of two evils. For the first time, we have a genuine opportunity to choose a candidate that can solve Nigeria's problems, a candidate that can wipe the tears in our eyes. Every part of Nigeria is in tears. Whether you are the Fulani tribe, Hausa tribe, Middle Belt, Southeast, Southwest, there is cry in all corners of Nigeria, even those that are related to the people in power. And so I think the best legacy we can leave to ourselves is to ensure that this special intervention that has come from God, we don't throw it away. I think that Nigerians are playing with fire. I have seen a lot of us, I listened to the national chairman speaking about lack of money, and some of us saying we cannot do what we need to do because there is no money. But I can tell you in advance that if we end up losing this election, it cannot be because of money. And I'll be finding solutions with the people that have spoken privately after this session. Let me say that a lot of Nigerian poor people have fallen victims of the kidnappings that's going on in all parts of Nigeria. When they kidnap a member of your family will rally around and come up with 100 to get the person released. But now we have opportunity. If every Nigerian pay 10,000 naira, we will win this presidential election. One of the things we are doing is that Nigerians don't know how to make the right sacrifice. This is a time for all of us to put our hands together and work to salvage our country. It will be very unfortunate if we keep sounding like APC and PDP. They will use their money and hijack it. How much money do they have? If 1 million Nigerians pay 10,000 naira, we will have a volume of money that even the federal government cannot raise. And we will be able to do this. We've already started. I think there's a fundraising process that I am leading privately, from which I can tell you up front that some of the little issues that are raised here, we'll be able to handle that. And then we'll also be able to extend that to locations outside of where we are. If you would, you will find that this is supposed to be a gathering of Northeast people. The people of Northeast, I can tell you, appear to be the greatest losers of the insecurity in our country. And so if we can sacrifice 10,000, 100,000 naira to ensure that Nigeria does not continue on this trajectory that we are on now, I don't think it is too much to ask for. But rather than find solutions, and I'm just trying to draw our attention that we need to focus on finding solutions. Okay, yeah. We need to focus on finding solutions to what do we all need to do to ensure that the hijack of our country by PDP and APC does not continue beyond 2023. That is a concern that all of us should share. That is a subject that if we all put our heads together, and I can tell you that from the little we have done already, you will find that
before the campaign started, in all parts of Nigeria, 1 million man march, rallies for P2B support were going on, and people were using their own money to do that. Incidentally, when the time comes for us to finish what we have started, it will appear to me that we are beginning to make excuses and, indulge in processes that will look like we know why we will not succeed. And so if somebody doesn't do this, we will all fail. God forbid. We are not going to fail in this process. And if there is anything that needs to be done for us to ensure that we succeed in this process, I can assure you that we will do it. I haven't worked with Northeast people before, but I can tell you that in other zones of the country, I am fortunate to be here today because if I hadn't come, I wouldn't know that we have a huge mountain to climb in your zone. But whatever needs to be done, I would love to sit with the people that have raised concerns and deliver solutions to those challenges to ensure that we win the election in Northeast. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please have that applause for him one more time? Now we can take a few more interventions. The presidential candidate, I'm told, is not too far away from here. So we'll take 4, 2 on this side, 2 on that side. But then we'll start with you, sir, and then you'll be next. Before we come to that lady with the glasses, and then I have 2 ladies. The lady with the glass, and perhaps the man standing there. Please, just be seated. And then, Mama, can we give him the mic quickly, please?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Engineer Nathan Wessender.
Can we have some quiet? But hold on, please. Announcing just hold on. We must make sure he gets in. We're going to interrupt this because the number 1 man is about coming in. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a standing ovation as you welcome the incoming president, His Excellency Mr. Peter Gregory, Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, just making his way here. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Please settle down. Let's give him another resounding applause as we welcome him. Thank you very much. Thank you. Your Excellency, this is a town hall meeting of the entire youth and leaders of Labour Party from the northeastern states. And it's a Northeast Stakeholders Interactive Session. Before your arrival, sir, the convener of this event, the young man you see standing in front of you, Isaac Balami, single-handedly brought all of them from the Northeast to come and interact with you. We'd like to thank you for finding time out of your very busy schedule. We had said because of the exigencies of the times that we are in, you might not be able to make it, but thank God you made it. Please put your hands together for the incoming president. Your deputy, your vice presidential candidate and vice president incoming was here before you, had also made some remarks. The national chairman had made remarks. Babachir Lawal, the former SGF, has also made some remarks. I just want to bring you up to speed with what has happened. And we have taken the interactive session. But because of his time, we know that he has to go around the entire country. It's not an easy task. You know how long it took him to get here. And some other persons are waiting elsewhere for similar events. In the light of that, I think I'll crave on the indulgence, National Chairman, to please indulge us a bit as we then invite the incoming number one citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, by the grace of God, to, at this point in time, address his supporters and his friends and brothers from the Northeast geopolitical zone. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming His Excellency, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, with a resounding applause, please.
Please be seated. Let me start by our dear fathers that are here, our leader in North Central, and our party chairman, all the leaders and all VIPs are here. Let me stand on all due and existing protocols. First is to most sincerely apologize for coming to this occasion late. I'm very, 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 very sorry. And I assure you it will never happen again. It happened this morning because of the flight situation. Yesterday, we were supposed to have a town hall meeting for all the candidates, for the presidential candidates in Abuja. All of you saw the advert. So we are supposed to be in Abuja yesterday. Until about 2 p.m. yesterday, they said, because of the ECOWAS meeting going on, the Hilton where they're supposed to hold it, there's issues. So they are moving everybody to Lagos. So the town hall meeting yesterday took place yesterday. And you know, it's very difficult to get flights out of Lagos on Monday mornings to Abuja in particular, because people have gone on weekend and in morning. So we thought, okay, let's leave the morning flight and use something that's going to go about 9. By 9, it became 10. 10, it became 11. And you know, when plain people tell you, say, something is wrong, you cannot push them because they don't know what is wrong. If they go in the air and say it's wrong, it'll be worse for you. So it's better it's wrong on the ground. So we stayed with them. So it became 11. When we arrived here, it was shocked. Again, they had the issue of one of their engines stopping, and unless that engine stops, they can't open the door. Again, like I said, once you're in plane, anything they say, you obey it, because you have no control. If you say it's good, you know, so I apologize and I assure you. I thank you, all of you who here. Action. I won't tell you, you know, I won't tell you how bad things are in Nigeria or what is wrong in Nigeria, what is right. I'm sure everybody have said it. So I will not go repeating the same thing that is wrong. All I can tell you that 2023 election is coming at a time Nigeria is going through very difficult time. It's an what you can call an existential election. It's an election that is critical to the future of Nigeria. Today, you know, we have 133 million people. This is not me now. It is the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics that is saying that we have 133 million people living in poverty. So if government agency agree that 133 million, you can get the number. It will be all of us. Thereby, 2023 election, what I'm pleading with all of you is that, please, 2023 election will not be by tribe. Let nobody tell you about ethnicity. Let nobody tell you I'm coming from the north, I'm coming from the south. You are from Northeast. Is there any place you people buy bread cheaper? So we can come and buy. Northeast today is devastated. I can tell you that the only thing that is sustaining town is government function. The banks there, there's no business. And it's affecting same thing in all parts of Northeast. Same thing in Yobe, in Bauchi. I'm pleading with you. About religion. There's no place cheaper by its own religion. Schools, people will tell you we're this and this. You even have people who are claiming we're this, we're this, we're and that I've worked in government, I've been this, I've been this, I've been this. You have been on that, and Nigeria is like this. You can't claim experience in failure. So I'm pleading with you. The problem of Nigeria today, why we have the crisis we face, nobody, the crisis we face today, no country will not go the same problem if you have the situation we have. Today we have 35% unemployment. For a country of 200 million people, 35% unemployment. Youth unemployment is nearing 60%. So you have millions of youths in their productive age doing nothing, not knowing where the next meal will come from. With that situation, you're going to have crisis of insecurity, crisis of banditry, crisis of kidnapping. What that is promising you is, number one, that we have the best combination, the best experience to start tackling issue of security. And I will say it, hold us responsible. Let nobody tell you that we cannot solve insecurity in Nigeria. It can be stopped and done very quickly. We want to unite Nigeria. We want to see Nigerians be proud of their country again. We want to remove Nigeria from where it is today, from consumption to production. And when you do that, you start pulling people out of poverty. In the Northeast, all cultivated, and people are hungry. Went on Wednesday. Look at Borno State. Borno State is 70.9 thousand square kilometers of land. So by that, Borno State can feed Nigeria. It can feed Nigeria. It's more than twice the size of Netherlands. And if it's supported, even people say about the certification or if you put whatever you need in that fertile land, it can feed the country. Did agricultural exports for 103 billion euros, $120 billion. And they're 33,000 square kilometers. Borno State is 70.9. So it's more than twice Netherlands. So if they're able to do 1% of what Netherlands is doing, they will do $1.2 billion. 1%, one, for having more than twice the land. That you know, go and calculate that 650 today is more than 750 billion naira. That is about more than 10 times what Borno State will earn in a year from statutory allocation by sharing money from Abuja. And you employ people. You put people out of poverty. It's a similar situation in Yobe. Taraba is 54.4 thousand square kilometers of land. It's in the northeast. Taraba is bigger than Belgium and Israel put together. The land in Taraba. Belgium is 30.9, Israel is 22.1, two of them is 53, Taraba is 54.4. But they can't feed themselves. They are looking for statutory allocation from Abuja. Taraba is at the plain of Mambila, so they can grow flour, they can grow tea, they can grow coffee. And people are looking for this product. Kenya did export of over $500 million worth of flour last year. Flour, not flour. If you go there, see young people who are busy working in the flour field being paid $100 a month as salary. Kenya have unemployment of less than 10%. Nigeria is 30-something percent. Because they've employed, they've employed their people. Ethiopia did the export of coffee over $1 billion. Taraba wants statutory allocation. Sierra Leone, with all their problem, did tea more than $1.4 billion. They can grow in Taraba. What I want to do is not to stay in Abuja and be telling you what they no. What we want to do is that I've told people in Taraba, I will come to Taraba to fight poverty. I'm not going to do anything from Abuja. All these programs about poverty that they announced in Abuja will end. I will take it to the state. And the people will know and bring it there. So if I say that our budget this year is to fight poverty, and we budgeted maybe 1 trillion, which will be more, I will share it according to the state and go to the state and say, the people of Taraba, this is your share. And this is what I'm doing in Taraba. Everybody will see it. They will feel it. And they will know, if that money is missing, they will know who took it. That's how countries work. We will no longer do it from Abuja. It won't be TV announcements. We will announce it and we'll do it. We must put people out of poverty. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. It's been done everywhere in the world. And I'm saying, please, all I want, all of us will tell you good stories, like I'm telling you now. But who can we trust? It's a question of trust. Just listen to all of us and ask questions. If anybody says he's going to fight corruption, like I'm going to tell you, I'm returning Nigeria to physical viability. Because I've stopped stealing of our fuel. I will deal with the issue of this criminal subsidy. I'll stop corruption. And when I say it, I mean every sense of it. If anybody says we'll stop corruption, let's go where he passed through and know whether something was remaining or not. I was governor of a state. I was governor of a state for 8 years. I can tell you other places I've passed. I'm a businessman. I build businesses. I chair corporations. But above all, I was governor for 8 years in Anambra State. And the day I left office, I said to anybody, said it everywhere so people can go and verify. The day I left office, I was not owing salary to any civil servant. I was not owing gratuity to any civil servant who have retired. I was not owing pension to any civil servant who have retired. It is on record there. I was not owing any contractor who have completed his job and given an assign and collected certificate of completion. I was not owing any supplier who have supplied what we ordered. And I left in 3 banks in Nigeria, Access Bank of Nigeria, $50 million over 10 billion naira for the state. Diamond Bank of the PLC, these are PLC, Diamond Bank PLC, $50 million over 10 billion naira. In Fidelity Bank, $50 million over 10 billion naira. These are banks in Nigeria, they're not foreign banks. I've said it everywhere. None of them have come and said, it's nothing wrong. I have the statement in my hand. So I wasn't owing anything. Until today, you can go and check. If you see a piece of land, I signed over 1,000, far more than that, CFOs, over 10,000 CFOs in 4 years and allocated land to people. If you see any land in Anambra State, allocated to people, directly or indirectly, to his wife, to anybody, come and stop running. Right. Anambra State, as an ex-governor, has never bought me a bottle of water. Go and check it. They've never bought me a bottle of water. So all I'm saying, so let people not come and tell us, oh, you're going to do this. What did you do in the last place? So we can say, based on this, you can manage this one. Not when everything in the last place you're doing is pissing, and you collected everything, made yourself king and all that. No, I didn't. My House of Assembly is still there. I said every day, my speaker brought documents and said, Peter, you're leaving. We are going to do your gratuity. We are going to build a house for you in Noka for this wonderful work you did here. Above all this, I'm saying, I was #1 in MDG implementation. Our school became #1 in education. We did excellent. On top of all this, my speaker brought in and said, Peter, we're going to build a house for you in Oka. We're going to build a house for you in Abuja. We're going to do this. Now that's what is happening in every other state. I said, Speaker, I finished this job. Let me go back to my family. All I want in this country is that we have opportunity of faithfully serving this country. Have opportunity of showing the North, especially the oil in Nigeria is in the North. The vast cultivated land we have in the North is our future. And that is what is keeping us from growing. Your country is not productive. That is the problem of the country. So if you're not productive, you can't employ people. That's why it's not employing anybody. Your total export as a country last year is 18.9 trillion naira. If you divide it with 600, government advised by 410 naira per dollar, it's $47 billion. If you divide it by my own rate, 650, it's about 10, it's below $30 billion. That is a country of 200. 23,000 square kilometers of land. It's unacceptable. It's not possible. Countries that with less than what we have, like Vietnam. They live on 331,000 square kilometers of land. So they live on a third of our land. And they 100 million, so they have 50% of our population. Their export last year is about $350 billion. So we couldn't do 10% of what they did because you're not productive, you're not doing anything. Everybody's sharing money. Everybody's doing, I want to remove the sharing formula with production formula. It can work. I want to give your children a future. And for me, this is about the youth, the children and women. I want to educate those children. The summit said yesterday, those 20 million out of school children which are domiciled in the north will become educated. Because it's a very simple thing. They're intelligent people. They've learned Quran. So I will meet them where they are being taught Quran and teach them skill. That's what I want to do. Because we want them to be, there's so many things we can do here. I thank you for the opportunity. But let me assure you, please do not go back and allow us to go, this country to go down. Let nobody give you anything. I'm not running as somebody from the Southeast. Don't vote for me for that. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm running because I'm qualified, I'm competent, and I'm most competent. Of all the major people, they said there's a major four of us who are major candidates. Isn't that what they said? Yeah. Thank you. Go and check our backgrounds and everything. I'm a successful businessman. I've managed corporations. I've been in public life, so I have experience of what it means to run an economy. And I have experience of public life. And I've run the public corporate world. So I've been all around. So I have an idea. Some of them, and in terms of among them, I'm the youngest.
Imagine. Imagine. Yes.
So it's a job that requires physical and mental energy.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm begging you, for the future of your children, we must stop this. Next year's election will be based on character we can trust. That's why I told you who I am. It will be based on competence, capacity, and capability to do the work. It will be based on commitment. I want Nigerians to hold me responsible. I want to be the man who started building the new Nigeria. Amen. And I'll build it. I'm only asking for opportunity for Nigeria to know that this is a great country. We're not going to waste anybody's time. We're not going to preach what we're not going to deliver. We will do the right thing from day one. Let us stop this. The society we're allowing them to abuse today will take his revenge. He's taking it already. He will take a greater revenge on our children. Thank you for accepting my apology. God Almighty bless us.
Just because of his time, he has graciously granted that he won't say, please be seated. He won't be sitting down. He will stand here and take 2 questions. And when we say 2, Those two critical questions. But before then, Your Excellency, I'd like that we just take one quick intervention from the convener, just 2 minutes from him, and then we can take the question.
Idan kunne ya ji? Idan kunne ya ji? Your Excellency, it means when the ears have heard, the whole body is safe. Sir, the Northeastern people have actually heard you. There's no need to waste time, please.
Thank you. We will balance it, one male, one female. The female you were going to contribute earlier on. Yes, please, Oga, give him the mic quickly. This man here, the man in front here with the white. It's not on. Turn on the mic. Turn on. I think it's on mute. It must be on mute. Meanwhile, we welcome Mr. Valentino Zibo. We'd like to appreciate you, former gubernatorial candidate, Anambra State, and he's a staunch supporter of Mr. Peter Obi and the Labour Party. Please give him a round of applause, please. Yes, your question. Quickly, your name?
My name is Muhammad A. Pantami from Gombe State.
Go ahead. Okay,
My
go
name
ahead.
is Muhammad A. Pantami from Gombe State. I really appreciate the presence of our incoming President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is widely broadcast all over in Nigeria that there is huge deposit of resources almost everywhere in the country. Everybody had it and everybody knows it. And so many people that are well trusted in this country have spoken about it. My question to you, sir, our incoming president, how do you stop these criminals, organized crimes from taking away these resources from we Nigerians, and how will you give it back to us as our country? Putting in mind the huge number of people that some people believe they are stronger than the country involved in this kind of organized crimes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. That's the first question. The second question, please. We want to balance. If there's a question from this wing, if there's no question, then we go back to that same wing. There's a man whose hand has been up here. Okay, the woman, let's take the woman so we become gender sensitive. Please bear with us. Yes, can we give her the microphone quickly, or I give you mine? Where's the man with the mic? Pass it to anybody there. The person will pass it to the next and it will move that fast. Thank you. Your question, please. Your name and your state.
Ni daga Jalingo ne na zo.
That
Daga
she
Taraba
came
na zo.
from Taraba State.
To,
Sunankiba.
sunana Elizabeth Johnson.
Her name is Elizabeth Johnson.
Ni yar Sodona ne.
She is Sadena's daughter.
To,
Oh, Sadena local government. I
local
beg your pardon.
government.
Okay.
Ni na so kawo kuka local government na ne ya nan.
She has come with a cry from her local government here.
Domin marayu, widows, mu mata ne, mu ne masu kuriya, mu ne muke shiga gida-gida, mu je mu yi campaign.
She's a widow, and that she's amongst those who move from house to house, campaigning and convincing people to vote.
Muna cire kudi, muna iya cire kudi a jikinmu mu yi campaign domin muna so mu kwashe 'yancinmu.
Because of the conviction about who you are, they spend their own money to doing the canvassing and all that.
Ni kan ba na so yin wani dogon bayani, ni na so a ba mu kayan aiki ne domin mu ci ma burinmu.
She's not asking for too
Shine
much.
kawai damuwa na a ba mu
That
kayan
she's just asking for you and the party to
don
give
mu
them.
gaji da wahala.
No, but that she's just praying for you and the party to give them materials with which they work with, the tools, which is inclusive of the banners, the t-shirts, the face caps, and of course, every other wrapper that carries the logo of the party. That someone mentioned earlier on, Your Excellency, sir, that someone mentioned earlier on, before you came, the interactive session has been on, that someone called your attention to the fact that the man is also from Taraba, that there's the logo of Zenith Labour Party and that of the Labour Party are all human beings, but that voter education is very critical because one has pictures of 3 people and the other has pictures of 5 people, that this is what they should, the message they should take to the grassroots. Yes, go ahead.
Shine na so my excellency taimake mu mata kuriya na wuri mu muna iya mu shiga gida maza ba za su iya shiga gida ba.
That one
Mu
thing,
ne masu zaɓe.
the advantage they have as women is that they can enter every home, but that the men cannot, because there's also something called in the North, Kule, where men are not allowed, except the married man who owns the house, are not allowed. But as women, they can penetrate such houses and convince them about who to vote for.
To my excellency do Allah ba mu kaya aiki kawai za mu je mu yi
Just give us opportunity, give us materials and the tools to work with. Yeah, Mungode, thank you very much. Mungode, Your Excellency, we've taken 2 questions, but as you can see, this has prompted a few more hands. I don't know if we can entertain one more. He has given us the grace to take 1 more. I called you, you refused to stand up at that point. You did. Okay, let me take one from this side so we can balance it. Prof, you spoke when he was not here. I think you can speak now, and that will be the last one. Please bear with us.
I'm Professor Anna Mohammed Malgui. I am also one of the members on the advisory presidential campaign team for Northeast. We have come a long way, but the question, Your Excellency, sir, we are fighting a battle as a movement and as a whirlwind and as a tsunami, and we want to deliver Northeast to you. We have had one question. They said that because you were the former running mate of Atiku, that you do not want to come to Adamawa State because you respect him. Is that true? That's that's question number 1. The second question is this. Yes. They said they are using your picture and his picture and saying that Labour Party and PDP are one, and they are putting your former picture of what you did during 2019. And now they are appearing you up and telling the people in the villages of where some of us couldn't penetrate. How do we intend to reach there? We have the methods, but we are handicapped of mobility and some logistics to reach into the inner interior. How do you intend to go to such places and then take over the country and take over our land? Because we women, we are tired. And this is the reason, sir. Thank you.
Your Excellency can now respond.
Prof, thank you very much. Let me start with the first question. The question you asked is very simple. Let me tell you, those who are stealing the resources of the country are people in government. None of you here can steal those things you say they are stealing. And that's why we will stop it. You hear about oil theft. You can steal oil. It's not something you put in your pocket. Those natural resources you said, they are not things you can do without the state or government knowing. So only people in government are stealing it. And I've just told you how I left $150 million and about 30 billion now. Nobody asked me to do that. But it's public money. And wherever I found myself is by his grace. It's by the grace of God. If I take that money, I'm abusing the grace of God. I'm here today talking to you by his grace. Maybe that plane couldn't have taken off, or taken off, something would have happened. I assure you that one of the things we're going to deal with is to stop people taking public money. I'm not against anybody making any amount of money, but we will stop it. It's affecting us. It's hurting us. Look at what we're the only OPEC country that is not producing our quota, except from Venezuela because of sanctions, because of oil theft and other things. Nobody's investing. We're not getting enough. If I tell you what we're losing as a country, or other people are saying, you will not believe it. Our quota is 1.8 million barrels per day. In July, our production was 1,083,000. So every day we were losing 717 in the whole of July. If you multiply by that 1 days, it will give you 22,227,000. That's what we lost in July. At an average price in July of 110, we lost $2,445,000,000. When we need every dollar. We're going to share it with the other group. We need every dollar. In August, the situation was worse. We are producing 975. So we're losing 825 every day. If you multiply by that, 1 day is about 25 million barrels. At an average price of 100, we lost 2.5 billion. So in 2 months, we lost almost $5 billion, where we need every cent, and we are looking for foreign investors. That is enough to stop all the country and go there. We will stop. Now that I said, I return Nigeria to physical viability. First, stop oil theft and all forms of stealing of our natural resources. 2, deal with the issue of this criminal subsidy we are paying. Like I said, I will invest in health. I would rather subsidize health than subsidize petroleum. Because we have, look at it, we have passed India in infant mortality. India is 1.4 billion, 7 times our population, but we have passed them in infant mortality. Mothers and children are dying in the north giving birth, and we are paying subsidy for petroleum. I'll pay subsidy for their health. So these are things we want to do. We'll stop it. The rest assured. You asked me about my boss. Let me tell you, Atiku remains a very respected senior brother. Very, very respected. In my place, you respect elder. He remains my respected elder brother. There's no question. And I will respect him as long as I live. And I will always, there's nobody, you will never see me anytime, anything. Even if you abuse me publicly, I won't reply. Because it's my senior. And it will never happen. And I respect, if God will ever give me money or power to respect my seniors, should take it. That's not what God wants. People who are elder must respect them. I have elder brothers, yeah. They're my elders. Whatever they say, I will respect it. Because I want to be respected when I'm their age. So I've come to Adamawa to campaign. If it's possible, if he's around, I'll go and greet him. If he has food, I will eat him. He's my brother. And I respect him. So let nobody, that is it doesn't say, and I remember, if I'm remembering, I'm an Igbo man. We train people to trade. When we finish, we settle them and they do the same trade with us. And that's where I am. He settled me and doing the same trade with him. We are not going to. We're not quarreling. Huh? All we are doing now is that we are looking for customer. The same market. Yes. The customer come, they will say whether they want to buy my own or his own. Because we are not quarreling. There's no quarreling. So don't ever think we will quarrel. No. It's my brother. If you go and see woman, they'll still, even if you do not get market, you go to his organ and take it and sell. So that's what it is. Even if I look for now, I go to him, say, okay, give me this, I'll make it sell. My customers come. And that is what it should be. We should be a family and work together. What people think here, politics is about quarreling, calling people bad name, do this. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in pulling people out of poverty. I'm interested in turning land into this. I want to see people happy. I want to see mothers not feeling a sense of this and everything. And I heard what you said. We couldn't give you the materials you need. We will try. Because we are not like these people. I didn't call anybody. But we're not like them. They know where they got the money they are using to do that. We don't have the money. You know, people say, oh, we don't give people shit. It's not true. I want to use your money for your good. I want to use it to educate your children. I want to use it to give them opportunity. I don't want to steal your money. Sorry about that. I don't want to steal your money. That's not what I'm doing. Because it's wrong. I rather want to be part of you, be part of your children, be part of what is happening. So I thank all of you for this opportunity. I will please still bleed. Because of my discussion today, all my engagements have been packed. So I'll be running from one to the other. So as I'm dropping now, I'll be running away. But I plead with you people to understand that I'm committed to you. I'm committed to the Northeast. I'm not going to be your president from Abuja. I'm going to be your president from the Northeast. There's no way I will not tour every single state of Nigeria. I'll be everywhere. And you will see me the way it is today. So I'm pleading, unless it's very, please. Yeah, I know you really want me to explain something, but be rest assured that is it something that you can't do without if I don't explain it? No. I'm looking at Oga. I'll greet as we are coming, please. Eh? Thank you.
We need to give him the opportunity to take leave of us. We wish you a very brilliant day ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, the National Chairman.
Don Allah. Yes. And National Chairman. So
Let's settle down. We also want to appreciate Isaac Balami and all passionate Northeasterners that contributed to making this a reality. Isaac Balami did not do this alone. So many of the chieftains of Labour Party and even members and persons who are not of the Labour Party that believe in the aspirations of Mr. Peter Obi have contributed to making this a huge success. Please, can we give him a round of applause? All of them, all of you. Thank you so much. Mother of the day, we appreciate you. You're not leaving yet. Please settle down. Zona da Allah. Kamar inda ya faɗa, akwai abubuwa da yawa gaban shi, akwai kungiyoyi daban-daban da suna jiran shi saboda su gan shi kuma ya yi musu magana kamar inda ya zo yanzu da ya halarta wannan taron namu. Mama, ki hakuri, I did not forget you. You know, but of course, he only asked me to take 2 questions, and I'm a respecter of constitutional authorities, and I didn't want to reach that. So please, let's settle down. Let's settle down, please. Do we continue or we wait for them to join us so we can continue? Mochiga bane kwa mujirasu. Dan jirasu. Kene ga kin magana daga Taraba. Abokinmu da ke gaban nan shi ma dan Taraba ne kuma yayi magana. Prof ita Adamawa ce and leading kungiyar mata and youths. We appreciate you. You've also spoken. You want to speak. The lady with the glass and then the man. Can we settle down, please? We have two hands up here. We have. Your mics are all going down. Dalla kuya kuri kuzauna mana. Can we sit down, please? Just sit down. Thank you. We'll take your question. Well, can we take the microphone to him? Can we take the mic to that lady with the dark glasses? Please sit down. They are going to serve refreshment, drinks, and small chops. Can we sit down, please? Kuzona. Can we take the microphone to the lady on this wing with the dark shade, dark sun shade? Please, quickly, quickly. Then we'll take the man standing. You don't have to remain standing, please. After him, after her, we'll come to you. I called you. You didn't indicate you were going to speak. Can we give her? The lady standing, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunana Ummi Salama Ishaq. Na zo ne daga jihar Bauchi State, Northeast Nigeria. Dice State Women Leader a jihar Bauchi State. Sanin kowa ne dai kamar yadda 'yan uwana mata suke faɗa cewa ƙuri'u yana hannun mata. Wannan gaskiya ne. Ba komai yasa ƙuri'u suke hannun mata ba. Za ka iya samu mace guda ɗaya ce, amma tana da mutum 10 a ƙarƙashinta, wanda za ta iya musu umarni da cewa ga wanda take buƙata su zaɓa. Sannan idan muka duba cewa yawanci rashin adalcin mulkin ƙasa a kanmu mata yake ƙarewa. Kamar misali, yawan kidnapping da ake yin na maza ake yi, ba a cika sace mata ba. Za ka samu mata tana da mijinta guda ɗaya, 'ya'yanta 10 suna ƙarƙashinsa, an sace mijinta. Sannan yawan hatsarin mota yakan samu ne a maza. Za ka ga mota bus guda, maza a ciki sun kai 20, mata guda 2. To duba da irin waɗannan, idan aka duba mata mu muke da yawa a Najeriya. Sannan kuma
Dan Allah ko kasa kunna ku ji abin da tana faɗa mana. Go, dan Allah. It's already, by my timepiece is 2:30 p.m. already. And we have more time to spend together, but we have other things to do. So we can quickly bring this to a close. Kin gama maganan ki?
Ina kai.
Da minti biyu ne kawai, ai kin yi minti biyu ko.
Sannan rashin security shi ma yana karewa akan mata ne, ko kashe-kashen da ake yi ta Maiduguri, ta Adamawa maza ake kashewa. To don haka mata aiki ne kalubale akan mu faɗakar da mata 'yan uwanmu, mu wayar musu da kan cewa wannan zaben da za mu yi canji ne da mu kawo wa kanmu don ci gabanmu da 'ya'yanmu gaba ɗaya.
Mun gode. Please take the mic. My friend, take the mic. Ga shi nan kusa da ke ki mashi mic. Please bring the microphone to the man at the back there on this wing. Please, can you raise your hands? Oga that wants to speak. They will bring your drink for you. Please just spare us 2 minutes. You have only 2 minutes, please. Let's keep protocols. Time is of the essence.
Mine is just a question, and it's 2 questions that I want to ask.
Your name first and the state.
My name is Honorable Samuel Bulus Midala, a stakeholder of Labour Party from Adamawa State. Can I talk?
Please, can we? They don't share these things you're sharing with noise. Please, Honorable Samuel, go ahead.
Yes, so I have 2 questions that I want to ask.
Go ahead.
Yes, the first question is, many people have seen it on the social media, some have read it, that a lot of fund has been gathered for Peter Obidati for this movement. Foreign donors has given billions of dollars. Now people are saying that Obi has gotten money, he wanted to keep it even if he don't win, it's okay for him, but we keep counteracting it. Some say they have frozen the account.
Are we paying attention, Rankadede? Are we paying attention? Somebody is on the floor. Can we pay attention, please? Chigaba.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Which is good. So can we have more information from this town hall meeting so that when we embark our journey, we will know what to tell to our people? That's
Second
one
question.
The second question is...
Ushers, you are the ones making noise now. Ushers, you don't share these things with having to talk. Please just give to the persons you've not given. And let's keep it brief, please. Go ahead.
Yes, the second question is, how can we balance this circumstance whereby various groups in different states have brought in a structure? You'll find out that there is a group, POS, Peter Obi Support Group, ACCL Group. They have given a name and a structure of a group that this is a person that I want him to be a coordinator for Peter Obi from unit towards to local government to state. And like in Adamawa, we have almost 70 groups that have given. Some of we that have already given and we have promised people something will come, this, yet there is nothing. How can we balance this support group that they have given assurance with various names and different office as they are the coordinator of Peter
Thank
Obi
you.
from unit.
Thank
to
you.
state.
Please
Thank
pick the mic back from him. Isaac Balami and other organizing members will respond to these questions. 2 questions from him. Please, Prof. No, she's hearing me. She just doesn't want to. If you want to have this conversation, you can just excuse yourselves and go to the back so that you can put whatever it is together, please. Thank you very much. Please bring the mic to Mama. The guy with the mic. Please take it to Mama. He's sitting close to Papa with the red drag cap. See Mama here now. Mama Dalab, tell us your name and your state.
Well, my name is Mrs. Ruth Garba, and I'm from Yobe.
Mrs.
Mrs. Ruth Garba.
Okay.
I'm residing here in Abuja, but yet the problem in Yobe, as I'm hearing it, is so devastating because there's no any labor office in Yobe State. And I don't know how the Labour Party can go to the remote area and meet the people in the remote area and talk to them, since they didn't have office. That's a serious matter. And this person is going to talk more about it.
This 1 minute.
Am I permitted?
Only 1 minute.
Okay, sir. I will leave the meeting. I'm Comrade Hassan Jibril, coordinator Northeast Patriotic Front for Obi and Dati. What she's saying, the public are eager, willing to vote Labour Party. But the presence of Labour Party with the symbol of Labour Party and the logo to identify which party to vote is absent. In fact, if you go to the state capital, I took my time to go there. I went around quarter, every nook and corner, no office for Labour Party. And I only saw one plaque in one community called Jerusalem. One like this. Coming to Pataskum, Texaco Junction, go around all over one of the commercial center of the area. Nothing. So please, all the calls from other partners, I think it is very important to stick to it so that you can provide this material and make logistics available. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to just please plead with us. This time, we'll respond to these questions, but before they respond, please come. The ushers, where are the ushers? Ushers, you are talking too much at the back there. Madam, with a black, your voice is even louder than mine with a microphone. Can we please get like 4 ushers to come this way, please? Ushers, 4 of you, very quickly. Now, we all understand that this is a project that you all believe in. And in believing in this project, we want a situation where you show commitment. Remember, one member of the campaign council of Labour Party spoke to us earlier on and said that if we are able to raise even 1,000, that you'll be able to raise enough money to be able to go round. Let it not just be 1,000. If you believe in this project, it's time to invest in this project. Ushers. So I want the ushers to do this. Can I have 4 of you quickly, please? Share this amongst yourselves. Share this amongst 2 on this wing, 2 on this wing. Okay? Share quickly. 2. Okay, no. 2 are there already. You come here. Now, what we are given is a pledge form. Believing in these projects and you want to possibly invest in this project, that is the pledge form. If you are redeeming now, we have an account number to call for you. If you want to redeem later, but of course I'm seeing the mother of the day already saying she's waiting for the account number. So I will yield the microphone to the convener to possibly talk to us about this. Please, a round of applause for Isaac Balame.
Thank you very much for your patience and thanks for managing the snacks. I know that's not actually a good lunch, but just something to quench the hunger. I will need intervention from our elders. We have our Northeast Zonal Coordinator here. Abadalakazo, please come. Please, can I have the chairman of the parties here? All party chairmen, please come to the stage. So we have one challenge, and Professor is here. Please come. At least you can give your wisdom as well. The challenge we're having is there is no singular account for Northeast. Party chairmen, do we have account for Northeast? We don't. And normally I don't like handling such funds. There should be an account where it goes in and people account for it. Peter Obi ya ce magana kayan aiki zai taimaka iya gurgudu. Amma mun sani akan cewa siyasan Labour Party ba irin na su APC da PDP bane. Because a cikin Labour Party ba mu da wa'inda sun yi aiki a gwamnati sun ebe kayan jama'a wanda suna kashewa anyhow. So mu yanzu harkan Labour Party kowa da kowa yanda ita madam daga Taraba ta magana kudin su suke kashewa. To kafin na Peter Obi ya zo yaya za a yi me ya kamata mu yi? Ya kamata ciyamomi sun fito da world chairman daga Nigeria ga shi zonal coordinator ɗinmu akwai kuma support group daban-daban a nan wurin. Ya kamata mu nuna kwarjini, mu nuna cewa mu muna son wannan tafiyan kuma kowa da kowa ko naira ɗaya ne a kawo a hada a sai kayan aiki a fara kafin na manyan kuɗin su shigo. Mun je kasan Yorubawa, mun je kasan Inyamurai haka suke yi. So ni zan bada shawara kuma zan fara kuma da kaina. Ni Balami Isaac David da ni da matana da yarana za mu bada miliyan 1. Amma yanzu oga magana shine yanzu a wani account za a sa wannan kuɗin. Shi yasa na kawo manyan mu a nan, chairmomi ne a haɗa kai a yi shawara don wannan kuɗin ba kuɗin mutum ɗaya bane. Kuɗi ne wanda ya kamata za a sayi kayan aiki, a yi bana, a yi billboard, a yi face cap, a yi wannan sai a rarraba yanda ya kamata ba cuci. To ba a so wannan kuɗin ya je cikin account na mutum ɗaya. Ni ban ma so ma sa a cikin account ɗina. To me ne shawara? Bari a fara da shi. Okay.
Labour Party, forward ever, a wannan kuɗi da za a tara za mu roƙi alfarma kasancewar ba mu da account na North East. Za mu roƙi alfarma a sa kuɗin na a cikin account ɗin a Barade tunda shine zonal coordinator North East. Domin duk wani aiki da za mu yi a wurinsa muke zuwa da complaint ɗinmu. Yanzu kuma da complaint da yawa dai a wurinsa. Wanda kuma an ba da wannan kuɗin mun san cewa zai bada amfani da su a abun da ya dace. Dan yanzu haka kafin mu bashi wani kuɗi mun san yana kokari da aljihunsa ko mun sha zuwa wurinsa da damuwoyinmu ya shirya kuɗi aljihunsa ya bamu. Don haka mun tabbatar da cewa idan ka ɗauki kuɗin fati aka bashi hannunsa ba za a taɓa samun wani na kansu ko kuma a yi wani abu da su wanda bai dace ba. Don haka ni a matsayina na shugaban ciyamomin Labour Party na ƙasa baki ɗaya a kuma ciyaman na Gombe State na goyi bayan a sa kuɗi a account ɗin Alhaji Alhassan Pau Baraden Tangale a campaign coordinator North East.
Sorry, sunana barista Usaini Saraki, ni ne chairman na Labour Party Bauchi State. Duk abin da ya kamata a samu legal backing ko wani abu da zai taimaka mana. To amma truly kamar yadda Mr. Balamiya, Engineer Balamiya ya magana, yanzu muna da labarin some of this account ma wasu su akan yi frustrating ɗinsu. Kawai sai kaga sun yi blocking ɗin account. Wannan bawan Allah dattijo ne kuma shekarunsa ya kai ga ina ga yanzu magana minti ya fara ba zai masa wani daɗi a baki sosai ba. Kuma mu yara ne matasa, gara a tura kuɗin a account ɗinsa a matsayinsa na uba, shine zonal campaign coordinator yawa na North East gabaki ɗaya. Insha Allah muna da tabbacin cewa Baba Alhassan zai mana adalci. So I deeply second it.
Ni dai na sai a madadin chairperson ina Dr. Esther. Dama da za ba camomi da zan ce ba na mace tunda ita ce na mace a cikin su, amma tun baba na nan kuma mun san baba akwai adalci zai iya riko, to ba da mu ma mun sa muryar mu kan ci a ba baba. Mun gode.
Yanzu dai mu in North East we trust each other, mun yarda da juna. Ni miliyan nawa ɗaya zan sa a cikin account ɗinka, amma muna so a cikin account ɗinka da is not busy because kaga abu da jama'a sharing shine za a yi auditing. So dama tsoron shine mutane yanzu akwai inyamurai a nan su ma za su bada nasu gudumawa. So muna so ka samu account ɗin da is not too active, kada ka sa a cikin ainihin account saboda kada a samu confusion. In an zo audit a samu matsala. So akwai account da wanda is a bit not too active, wanda baka using too much, kamar savings account ɗinka wanda baka using too much. I think it's better. Observation. Okay. Please come forward, sir.
Please, I want to observe, you know that we are changing our currency. We are changing our currency. And by 15th January, any money that is in somebody's account, you cannot withdraw more than 100,000 naira per day. If you put money in that man's account, how will you withdraw it? That's one. I was a pioneer member of, there's no way. Okay, I was a pioneer member of CPC, you know CPC. And we were selling card 100 naira. You know that card, Wari card. Money was going into the account in millions. Government block it. Supposing this account is blocked, what will you do? Change another. They will block the account. No, I'm just telling you. No, but you have to get the solution to yourself. Otherwise, the account will be blocked. I'm telling you.
Abin da yake faruwa shi Alhaji Alhassan Pau da muka ce a sa kuɗi account ɗin shi, kowa san cewa ɗan kasuwa ne. Sannan kuma duk inda muke so kuɗin mu su je, gwamnatin tarayya ta bada dama za a iya transfer from one account to another. To da ina ganin wannan ba zai zama da wani damuwa ba, a ce sai mun raba kuɗin mun yi abun nan saboda accountability. Ya kasance kuɗin suna account ɗin mutum ɗaya, idan kuma za a cire kuɗin an san cewa an cire an tura kuɗi wuri zuwa wuri kaza, an tura kuɗi zuwa wuri kaza. Ina ganin wannan dai kaman ba zai zama da wani damuwa ba insha Allah.
Okay, please. Now, yai confess abu daya yana da company account kawai da kuma personal zenith in shi kacal daya. To, sauran kuma yace they are dormant. To, ni ina so ne because ban san kuɗin mai makale ne ko kuwa account inda is too busy a zo a kasa reconciling abinda mu muka sa da abinda yake a cikin business in shi.
Hello. Hello, all protocol observed. Please, I'm very happy that a solution is coming nearby. But I can temporarily accept lodging this money for the Northeast, activities. But let it be temporary. Within 3 or 4 days or 1 week maximum, a Northeast account need to be opened so that it will be lodged completely into that account. Thank you very much.
To anybody who is making transfer, put a reference Northeast or Labour Party. That will help distinguish between the money he's expecting for his personal use from family and friends and business associates and this mission. Pick one as a kudi a checking account in the anasa reference. Say Musa LP Koko Labour Party as a reference, Koko Mosaka Northeast donation. Koko Mosaka donation. In Haka, in Anzo reconciling, he will feel free to print his account statement because Abu Jama'a Sepa Kuri Baba. Thank you very much. Yanzu Olusegun, please come and get his account number right now, and it should be displayed on the screen. And we will want to actually tax from this high table here. Please, where are the ushers? We call for ushers. Where are the ushers? We have 14 ushers here. I can't see anyone. She can enter. Yeah, she can. Please, you can all sit down. It's okay. Yeah. So akwai form a hannunmu ko da 1,000 ne, ko da 10,000 ne, ko da naira 500 ne, ba za a rena ba. Mun ji ko? So please, if you're a civil servant, mun san you can't announce money. But it's actually optional. So Hajia, we are going to move to you, and then we just move the mic around because it's a serious business. We have to be serious about it. Ushers, as anybody, he or she makes his or her own donation, you get the form and confirm what the person is saying. The person will have his phone number there and some details, and then we just go on so that at least we can be very, very sure that we are all on the same page. Okay. Gina, where is Gina? Yes, it will be announced. Yes. Yes. Sometimes it's good to announce because it will actually motivate some people. But if you're a civil servant, we can understand. Not everybody can actually announce. But announcement helps with gingering. Gina, please come and help us coordinate all the donations. So we are starting with our mother of the day. So we have gotten, she doesn't want to announce it. It's okay. Thank you. Yeah, so anybody who doesn't have now, you give to the person. Okay, Daddy, can we collect a form now? We can actually announce it. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The account number on the screens, please. Olusegun, have you done that? Yes, it's actually going on the screen now. Yeah? Yes, so they should actually, they can actually, but we need this form also. Okay, but they'll take the account number on the screen. Exactly. Okay. So Zamosa account number I can screen Yanzu. Baza arena bafa. tafiyan Peter Obi ya zaman cewa hannunmu kuɗinmu yana ciki. Ko ba haka ba? Okay, please go down here. Go down and collect the forms from people, please. And if anybody wants to make intervention, the person can go ahead. Yes, sir. So when someone has to buy the cash, dubu biyu ba za a rena ba. Olusegun, why is it taking long to project account number on the screen? You want to type it first, or what? And then please, idan kana da yan uwa wanda ka san za su taimaka amma ba su iya sun zo ba, za a iya an sa musu wannan form ɗin nan ko kuwa za a iya a yi musu magana su ma a ba su account ɗin. A taimaka da Allah. In mun gama za mu yi calculating a nan ko da kuwa san abin da aka yi raising. And I hope that God will give us the grace to redeem all our pledges. Okay, Rufai Shafa. I won't say the rest. But let me voice wait. 5,000 naira. Thank you very much, Rufai. Cash. Okay, dan laga account number akan screen. Wanda zai transfer yanzu zai yi yanzu nan. Wansu suna tambaya cewa in ma sun je bank da cash gobe su sa kuɗi a cikin account ɗin, na ce kawai sai su saka reference ɗin ko North East ko kuwa donation ko kuwa something like that day. So in ya je shi zai ga cewa donation ne daga wurin North East. Okay, North East Labour Party. North East Labour Party. Okay, kada a saka Labour Party, kawai a saka North East. Kawai a sa North East, kada a sa Labour Party, please. Ko kuwa North East kawai. There must be reference, because if it's North East is okay. Magana Obidati as reference is not right. North East is okay. North East donation or North East is okay. You can transfer right away. Just put North East as the reference. I can't hear you. You can copy the account number. Yeah, but her name will show. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Has she printed it? Okay, page. If you're okay with it, she can. You will just handle the session. You handle the session, she can. Yes. Yes. Where's Gina now? You give it to Gina, not me. Yeah, so I preach the word because they are all going now. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Okay, I'll talk to him, but let me. Okay, I think Baba has agreed that from this moment, any cash that enters is for this purpose. Yes. So it's okay. Any cash that enters is for this purpose. Dalla a yi hakuri ciyamomi da delegates ɗinmu akwai communique da za a karanta a sa hannu mu gaya ma duniya abin da muka yi. We have a communique coming up. It's just a pager, just one page communique, very, very simple. And that will be ready shortly. Let me allow you to.
We need to run through this quickly. Anybody that wants his own announced, it should please let us know quickly. Yes, the communique is being put together. You're ready with it. If you're ready with it, can you please then come forward and present the communique before this August gathering?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please, can we have some quiet? Can we have some silence, please, so that anyone can hear us? Everyone should hear us because it's important. This is what we are going to tell our people at home. This is what we have agreed. And if there's any objection, we are going to put it to a motion. So those who agree and those who disagree, we'll see if those who say yes have it, then we can now carry the motion. Communique issued. Yes, sir. Ni na ce ni da Ojukwu ne zan kawo shi. Ka san shi PO ya zo daga baya. So ya bi shi. So yanzu we are just trying to do the communique. Mun gama. If he's free and you are free, then say mu zo da shi. The National Organizing Secretary na Labour da yace yana so ya ganka. Shi ne. No, an baka so gan shi ba da za yayi. Na ga mun shi. Amma shi yana roko wai din na ga mun ce magana da charge card na they should do something about it. Na ce su sun bi na ce yadda za su yi raising kudi. Ba wai shi magana nasu din ba fa. Wannan just generally da muke magana na running party nasu din. Wannan shi ne kamar secretary na policy. So on their own party affairs, ka san magana da kai nan ya taba su sosai. So she yace when he wants to see you to learn more. So kaga Okay, yau din ya zo ma magana ki kuma cha is a slap on the face of ya zai ce ba ci ko zai ce ta kan I saw wannan abun ba it doesn't make sense yana zuwa late for program amma kana neman president the whole country like it kyau ba There are solutions. Let's play in Italy. Let's check anything back. We can go because I might looking at mentions that the community. This is to have this. In at the time. Yes, and a timetable and covering the resources. Yes. Yeah, very good. Very good. No. Yeah, I know when it's doing nothing. Running a book when they are not necessarily kind of campaign. What for? It is not necessary. Actually, those places are not necessary. You diagnose the problem right. That's in your yes, Republican nature. But move is a threat. Our existence is not a threat. We have to win this election. So only we have to get backward. Look at what is happening. That is amazing. Because you are imagining I did China. Because they can't play. You are not about. She the one that thing. So I did my really made everything. Program number two. Problem and I can eat first. Thank you, sir. Semunzo, sir. Semunzo. Hello. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Hello. I was waiting for this gentleman to sit down. Please, can they sit? Because we can't have a communique and then, yeah, so that we have one meeting, then we can agree. So can I move forward now? Communique issued from the Northeastern Stakeholders Interactive Session between stakeholders from the Northeast with the Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, the vice presidential candidates, Baba Ahmed Dati, and Northeast stakeholders held at Merit House, Abuja, December 5th, 2022. Number one, the Northeast stakeholders unanimously agreed that for the 2023 election, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, His Excellency Peter Obi, is the best candidate and offers the best hope for the stakeholders and people of the Northeast region. Number two, the people of the Northeast have unanimously agreed to mobilize and canvass their people to ensure that His Excellency Peter Obi emerges victorious in the coming election in the Northeast. The stakeholders observed that to achieve this target, enough resources must be deployed to ensure that the citizens of these states in the Northeast are effectively mobilized to vote and defend their votes. The Labour Party must commit to providing all logistics and resources required to achieve this goal. Number five, the meeting commended all the stakeholders for coming up in large numbers from all states in the zone, despite the short notice of this meeting. It will be signed by Labour Party Chairman Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Taraba, Yobe, Labour Party State Coordinators Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Taraba, and Yobe states, and the Northeast Zonal Chairman and the Northeast Zonal Coordinator. That is the communique that is issued. So now we put this communique to motion to a vote. Those who support this communique, say aye. Those against, say nay.
Thank you, sir. Can I quickly respond to that? Hello, sir. I understand where you're coming from. We are talking about the logo of the two parties, Zenith Labour Party and Labour Party. Hold on, sir. There is very great distinction if you ask my candid opinion. The Labour Party has 3 pictures. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Please sit down briefly. The Zenith Labour Party has 5. All you tell your supporters is that they should vote for the party they should vote for is the one with 3 people and not 5. If not, there will be confusion. And guess what, sir? At this stakeholders meeting that you are in, you cannot change the Labour Party logo. It is something that the party has to do from the top. So it is not a discussion that I expect that we bring to this forum.
The question I'm saying is, there are samples, right? In educating the voters, there are samples. Now, what I'm saying is that this communication should not forget to emphasize the samples of the Labour Party, depicting the 3 personalities on the sample. That's just what I'm saying.
Your observation is taken, but it is part of the resources. We are going to give you the samples so that you can use to educate, especially our rural folks, the difference between the Labour Party and the Zenith Labour Party. So we are going to give you, these are all resources, madam. These are all resources. We'll give you resources. That's what we said. Number 5, the Labour Party commits to providing all logistics and resources required. All those samples, all those things, they are part of the resources and logistics you'll be provided so that you can educate these people. Is there any other objection? If there's no objection, those who support this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please give him a round of applause? Give me back my program. Let me see what is left. Because I think we have actually come to the end of this program. But just before we bring it to a close, I'll invite Mohammed Faou, Northeast Zonal Coordinator, to please move the vote of thanks. Can we please give him a resounding applause? I know that so many people are outside there holding their consultations. The communique, has it been adopted? It has been adopted. Thank you very much. So we'll just take the vote of thanks from Alhaji Mohammed Faou. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for him.
Labour Party. Forward ever. Our eldest statesman here, recognized, and all other existing protocols that covered His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, his vice and everything duly observed. I want to mention here that my job is easy. Just say thank you. I would have just said that and left. But I would want to take opportunity to actually express my delight at especially the gathering, the mammoth attendance, and the efforts of the convener, Engineer Azag Balami, It is a wonderful job. It is a beautiful thought, and it has come to a fruitful solution. We have had a good ending. I would want to quickly make mention of one or two things before I say the big thank you. One, everything that needs to be said has been said here, including the complaints that we have in the Northeast. We are very lucky. Labour Party is not a bad party. It is a good party made of clean people, from the chairman and all his national working committee members and his staff. Then came His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, who joined the party, and the two blended so well that we have gotten what we are having now. His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, and in Labour Party. It is good. We should thank God that this has been accepted nationwide. In fact, I can say worldwide, if I'm allowed to mention that. All that has been said about the problems we are having, or we are going to be, or we are faced with, are genuine. Because even though the party is right, the presidential candidate is right and his vice, the Hausaman says, ko kana da kyau, ko kuma in kana da kyau sai ka hada da wanka. That, for the benefit of those of us who may not understand Hausa, that even no matter how beautiful or good you are as a human being, if you don't take bath, give yourself a week, 2, 3, or so, you will start smelling. So the bath is what we highlighted here today, that we need logistics. We need logistics to keep this, vehicle moving, to keep the campaign moving. We need logistics. We need logistics. We need mobility. We need a lot of things that were being mentioned here, especially by the professor and others well spoken. And therefore, with the move we have made now, it will solve part of the problem. And we have heard that the center, the PCC, will come to our aid. So by the time we get that, please, we need to use our own wisdom in whatever way. Pardon? I said it. I said I'll take opportunity to just say one or two things. So having said this, I think everybody is tired, and especially our elder statesman, His Excellency Dan Suleiman, whom I know I heard of, but we are seeing face to face only today. But I've heard a lot about him because of my age. We thank you very much, sir, for taking the trouble to come and stay all this long. It's very important. He stayed and survived everybody. So we thank you very much, sir. And we thank His Excellency for eventually coming and giving a beautiful speech despite his tight schedule, and the vice who came earlier, and the party chairman, and everybody, of course, the convener and the MC inclusive, for all that you put today. I pray as you came safely, God will deliver you to your homes and meet your families safely. Thank you very much. May God bless.
Dala Kutapa ma Alhaji Muhammad Fau. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate. Is Balami anywhere close by? We're bringing the event to a close. If you have any closing remarks to give, He has to give closing remarks. Mbakaba, we just close. Please put your hands together for the convener. He will make a brief, very brief closing remarks and we'll bring it to a close. Again, many thanks to Air Commodore Dan Suleiman for his patience, and he's been here from morning till this minute. Please applaud him.
Our daddy, Air Commodore Dan Suleiman, you are the hero of the day because you came in before we started and you stayed till the end. God bless you, sir. I know that it is love and passion for this country and your zone, the Northeast, that made you to take the pain to leave everything that you're doing to stay this long. We, the young ones and the leaders here today, want to assure you that in your lifetime, you will live to see the changes and what you've prayed and fought for by the grace of God. I just want to thank everybody. I just want to appreciate the leaders here present from the northeastern part of the country and our well-wishers from neighboring states and other zones in the country. This was an emergency. If we can call for a meeting in 48 hours and you all appear, what shocked me is the people from the Northeast that were arriving Abuja by 2, 3, 4 a.m. this morning. I mean, what other commitment, what other passion and drive for a new Nigeria can you expect? Thank you very much, our chairman. Thank you very much, our coordinators. Like you can see the level of transparency. This thing is not about Balami, and that is why I told the master of ceremony to say Balami alone did not make this happen. We have Daddy Wasinda Nathan here. We have so many people. His wife is here. We have our elder, the zonal coordinator. The day we called him for this meeting, he was somewhere. He jumped and came straight to the venue. We met and he was fully in support of what has just happened today. I mean, there's no any other commitment. Thank you very much. I pray that the little resources that we are going to raise amongst ourselves will be used judiciously, and it will help us to serve as the seed for bigger funding to come for this great project. Our from the northeastern part of the country, please, if it is not necessary, I will recommend, except for those people that are maybe living around Jos, Gombe or Bauchi area, I don't think it's good to travel late. So therefore, where you slept yesterday, we have our brother here from Kaduna State. He has been with you. He is your colleague, Hassan Peter and Brent. Where is Brent and Dr. Stan? Thank you very much for your effort. They did not sleep. Please, let's clap for them. They are behind here. They did not sleep at all. They made sure that they wait for you, and you guys came in and they checked you people in, gave you people dinner. This morning they were all over, trying to get you, you people breakfast to eat. Thank you very much for your effort. They're actually our leaders from the Middle Belt. Thank you very much. So the same people will take care of you. We will arrange with them. They will still arrange that room you slept last night so that you can go and rest. And tomorrow morning, we can all be on our way by the special grace of God. Please, as you go back with the message of hope. In the next couple of days, I will personally, with the support of our elders here, talk to His Excellency. The resources we have, the posters, the banners, and even what we don't have, we'll try and produce as soon as possible. Mostly our people, as we approach end of the year, from 15th to 20th of December, people begin to travel back to their villages. We want to make sure that this holiday from 15th to about 31st of December or up to New Year, let us use it for proper grassroots mobilization. So this is where we're raising this money, and we believe that the party and our principals will add to it, and we will ensure that the money is used properly. Please, in the name of God, no matter how small it is, we have all suffered and labored for the past 5-6 months in this Labour Party since this matter of Obidati came up. We just have few months, 2 months plus to go. Let us endure. 61 days. Let us endure. If we endure, we'll all eat the fruit of our labor. If there's anybody here that any party is trying to buy him over, don't agree. Look at the future of your children. Look at even you, your own self. You need to live first. So please, ladies and gentlemen, let us stand, let us defend the vote on that day. Let's all get involved in this grassroots mobilization. May God take us back safely to our destination. Thank you very much. Have we done closing prayers? Closing prayers? So you can handle that? Okay. Okay, he said, we have done vote of thanks. We all believe in God. May Almighty God take us back to our destination safely. Amen.
Amen. So let's rise for the national anthem, please. Thank you very much. And God bless you.